Hello, gamers. Dave has successfully invaded the European brackets. Welcome to EU Training Grounds number 3. I'm on the mic here with Kobe. Kobe, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. Excited, this North American invasion of the EU training grounds.
It's good. I always like seeing how different regions play and get them all set up. So
Yeah. Especially at the beginner level too, because of course, you can get a sense when you're watching like what we only the best yesterday. Actually, I was about to say last weekend, but no, it was just yesterday. Uh, Duncan Yips and all these other tournaments that happen every single day. Like we're drowning in content for normal brackets. But for beginner brackets, that's where the grassroots comes from. That's where you get to see how people learn for real.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you see potential future champions of tomorrow too, right? You see people who really stick with the game, grind it out. They're learning. This is the place to learn, right? And grow. So I'm really excited to see some matches here. The format is Swiss initially, right? So that's always good stuff. You get a lot of games in. It's not double elimination. It's a great environment for learning. And then we go into our top 6, but we're queuing up here. We got the Cagliostro and Vera on screen.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
I may or may not have forgotten to spectate.
Oh
I'll
no!
be there in a few
Yeah,
seconds.
it
Oh,
is Pink
GGs.
versus Barca. No worries. This is not a very popular matchup that we see either, just because both characters kind of underrepresented in the higher play, but it's cool to see fan favorites come through.
Yeah, I mean, CAG has a lot of good stuff that you can use for this matchup. I mean, of course, everyone who has played Vanilla always memes about CAG's Far 8, which, I mean, Pink has been using so well so far.
Absolutely, but we see a Far H from Vera of her own and getting close to finding these hit confirms. A lot of meter on deck too for Barca, so Pink's got to be worried, but the jump in is going to be able to secure the first round.
Yeah. Barca's been really good so far about using 2H and close H as anti-airs. 2H is a little awkward for Vera to use since it just kind of has one of those typical I'm sticking out in front of you and not above, whereas close H fulfills that other requirement.
And like you just said, there's that 2H again, getting the confirm too, not recognizing that didn't need to do the counter hit confirm either. So good showing from Barca. Use pressure. Really good defense too from Barca. I like that, they're able to block the overhead too setup from CAG. So another one.
Yeah. I mean, that is the biggest thing that not only persists amongst beginner players, but also all the way up to like near high level competitive gameplays. A lot of people want to get those huge counter hits and those really nice anti-air confirms instead of either just sending your normal regular hit confirm or a raging strike, raging chain. And both those are so necessary to, especially if you find yourself struggling to take someone down. The more times you get to run Oki, the more times you get to win. And Raging Strike, Raging Chain is the easiest way for almost any hit confirm to get you Oki.
Damn, but Pink able to secure the first game using some of that tricky setup, The anti-airs from Barca really good, but I think Pink just, like you mentioned, able to run the Oki a little bit better and get that pressure going, securing that first game. But Barca, it's all going their way this time.
Yeah, this is the Vera strike throw supreme. Able to bait out Brave counter with Luminera. Unfortunately, though, trying to get that combo because there's a little bit of panicking for everybody when you see that Raging Strike come out. And without Luminera being close enough to get that auto punish, which is a common thing that happens with Vera setups at the moment.
Absolutely, and now Pink's in the corner again. Barca has the 100 meter, baits the Raging Strike, but no full kill yet. We're getting close.
Yeah, these spare bodies have been very good so far from Pink. Unfortunate call outs for the SSBA. Barca was not pressing on it this time, being nice and defensive. With spare bodies, you have to be ready for it and be aggressive in your chase down. And Pink is recognizing that gap and Barca not being ready to be super aggressive on spare bodies activation.
Yeah, and Vera, an aggressive character too. So you're expecting it, and you're just like, okay, they're trying to get the install going. They're trying to run this setup. They have a 100 meter. Surely something's going to happen, but good defensive options. But the Raging Strike to open up. Uh-oh.
Was able to find a nice frame trap on Pink. There's only one crystal left, so strike and throw do a lot more. Great bait here with Luminaria. And full counter hit confirmed. Not able to extend it early. You Darkane could have helped easily there, or even just go straight into your install route, install to you, put the rest of the pieces however you want together for a kill.
Yeah, but we find the DP anyways, and we get the game. Barca just wanted to play a little more. That's all it is, right? You know, gets the game anyways, tying up the game count, 1-1 apiece. We're deep in thought, trying to think, okay, you know, what kind of adjustments can we make? The SBAs maybe not working out too much, so we'll try to route them into some confirms maybe. And Barca's really showing some solid play on this game too.
Yeah. Ooh, teleporting right in front of the traps. Now it's common for Kags once they get traps set up to use either Spear or use her Rock in order to just, you know, zone a little bit. And it can be very effective against Vera, especially before 50 meters there for Ultimate Scarlet Oath, which just zooms you right past all traps.
And again, Pink able to get this jump in confirm this time, controlling this corner. We're going to see the setup with the traps too. Good defense. Barca recognizing too, we haven't really seen DP rip either, so just saying, okay, you know, the mix isn't here. They spent all their skills, so they're on cooldown, so it's cool. I'll block it out.
Yeah. And Pink has been recognizing, yeah, going for a lot of these extended pressure strings, which have natural enders, such as like ending with a very spaced 2U, and without trap set, it can be risky to go for a 63X. Oh, that might actually catch. Yeah.
Absolutely. Pink ready for it. We're like 2 for 4, 50%. That's passing in my book. I mean, as long as you're getting the games, that's all that matters. And now Pink looking pretty close to closing this out.
Primarily, if you're looking for chip out scenarios for CAG, it's going to be these air traps, specifically Ultimate Air Trap. She has Dragon Wheel as like a last ditch effort. They're very punishable on block, so Kags aren't going to use it very often. And of course, her Spear, the 623X, is her primary method of chip out, in addition to her Rock. But the Rock is very, very telegraphed, so it's not that worrisome unless she's building up a checkmate scenario with it.
Speaking of checkmate, we're getting close, but Barca almost able to escape with the Raging Strike. There's the anti-air. No full confirm, though. Pink just... Oh, no, there's another one. Oh, but didn't spend it. Could have believed. No, we're so close.
Yeah. Oh, SSBA on the Spare Body, and Spare Body went behind. Unfortunately for Barca, and Pink is just going to be able to run right up behind with the Far H to clean out game number 2 for the score count.
Gonna be going up the 2-1. We're queuing up here again. Not gonna lie, I have never seen Kag's book up that close before. I was like, did I have mods installed or something? What is going on here?
No, she just has the Yaoi book.
She just has the Yaoi book, but Pink trying to go in with this aggression. Those teleports really getting a lot of good mileage off of it. Of course, there is the block button in this game, right? So you are able to avoid some of the mix-up pressure, but it's scary in the scenario because that means you're not walking, right?
Yeah, and there's also the problem of recognizing Spare Body. Also, exactly what Barca did is sometimes Spare Body is going to put Kag right behind you, and that's punishable to 5L or close L. Whereas if you use block button, sure, you don't get hit by the cross up, but you are also delayed by a frame after blocking.
Uh-oh. Yep, had a little bit of a spike. The SBA too powerful even for the router, but looks like we've stabilized here. Pink just trying to zone things out, but Barca has the SSBA available too, so Pink's got to be a little worried about that.
Yeah, Nice gets that install. Not ready for the 2U to kill off of it though, but you're still an install as Vera. You have a lot of strong tools, especially Grace View now.
Silly, but Throw just gonna take it. Barca taking the round in game 4 here.
Ooh, nice patience. That's the second time that Pink has done set both traps and then teleport right in front of Barca's face. So Barca ready for it, gets the punish, gets a nice counter hit.
Yeah, we're seeing some good adaptation too from both players, especially in these like extended sets, right? First with 2, it's hard to adapt at times, but we've seen now that Pink was able to avoid the anti-air, of course, and Barca's now starting to call up those teleports a little bit more, but Pink is in control here.
Nice, continues that pressure. H Scarlet Oath is the one you're looking for to take your turn after. If you can mash in between the first and second hits of M Scarlet Oath, that's the best part to do it. If not, just take your Brave counter. It's guaranteed.
Yep, there's the first real DP we've seen of the set too, and gets a little punished from Pink, but a lot of meter on both sides. But yeah, just able to poke out there with the 2H. Barca tying it up 2-2.
Yeah, Pink was going to go for either a run-up throw there or delayed meaty. And unfortunately, Barca was just going to say, nope, I'm calling you out right now. Got the 2H, got the kill. Now,
Yeah, I mean,
final
it covers the jump teleport option too to go for the throw bait. So good awareness from Barca.
Yeah. Pink starting to experiment with spare body back at the start of the round. You know, if you can time that properly with combination of traps, maybe like rock of some kind, definitely can start making Barca with some more committal moves.
But right now, Barca's trying to hunt down this Cagliostro, but Pink not making it easy for them. One of the things I haven't really seen from Pink too much, and maybe it's not the best choice because Barca has had a lot of meter, is that, going for a more zoning-oriented CAG, just setting up traps and forcing Barca to come to you.
Yeah. It's definitely really good because CAG also can just spare body out if Barca is not using something like 214U or Ultimate Scarlet Oath. Ooh, setting out the SSBA, and unfortunately, Barca too high for it.
I like the idea just a little bit too early. I think if they let it rip just a little bit later, would have worked as an anti-air and able to get the kill. But Barca going up on the round count and taking the lead finally in this set.
Yeah. Oh, trying to get a little greedy with the set of rock. If you have traps out, it makes charging her 5U a lot more scary since you can't just freely run up out of fear of getting deleted. But it is also important to recognize that, yes, I can and will go set up this rock.
Yep. Rock's a good game plan. We haven't seen a lot, but now that we're starting to get it going, better late than never. Oh, there's the rock, but and there's the SSBA. It hits this time. You're getting turned into the statue, of course. Pink still got a bit of an uphill battle, but, one diamond left from Barca, so it has to be worried about the Raging Strike, which has been a factor a couple times in this set.
Yeah.
Oh, stare down. Nothing.
You can 2L that. You can 2L. You can 2U.
2U. Oh, there's the 2U. Wrong person, though.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised Pink didn't decide, you know what? We're crouching here. I'm going to press far L.
The most patient Vera I've ever seen. Oh, my goodness. Barca. 3-2. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That felt like a long time, that stare down.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably only like 3-4 seconds, but like you said, it felt very, very long because of course Barca didn't want to run into a trap. You saw the triple attack, and I think Barca was about to cancel into either Scarlet Oath or Darkane, and then it was like, oh, wait a second, I might be putting myself into trap and die. And then Pink was just wanting to try and bait Barca into pressing into it.
Yeah, but good awareness too from Barca, and especially Pink, at that life deficit too. It's scary to press against a character like Vera, who has a lot of combo potential, a lot of meter on board still. Had a diamond to do Raging Strike stabilization confirms, but yeah, good awareness, and deleting those traps is also super critical if the CAG player is starting to set up the zoning a little bit more. So, like you said, using the 2L or the 2U, any sort of low option, right? A little bit better options compared to like somebody like Vikala, right, where it's just a button to get rid of the trap.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, I would have liked to see Pink go for some more of that CAG zoning. Once you only need one trap to set it up. Technically, it's a lot safer with two, of course, where you just sit a little bit behind the traps and you mix in whether or not you're going to charge up the rock with 5U or use her spear in order to, stop your opponent from trying to run closer or jump. And even if they do get a successful jump, they get outside of the spear distance. If CAG has meter, she can then use air trap to be like, all right, stop sign, go. If she has meter, if not, then spare body typically is available in time to stop a reversal. So you can teleport to the other side of traps and potentially restart everything, or good close H2H, because those buttons are very good. And if you're jumping over the traps, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be in close H range, and that is not where you want to be if you cannot guarantee you'll block that close H.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the zoning approach, maybe you're not as comfortable with zoning, right? But trying it out anyways to see how the opponent reacts to zoning, it can be a challenge for the opponent to just get in. I know like characters like Matera and Fairy, they're very powerful at zoning. And so trying to emulate that game plan of seeing, okay, how are they good at approaching and getting in? Are they using the system mechanics to get around projectiles and just being able to navigate that matchup there too? Because if they're not, then, you know, it makes the game plan a heck of a lot easier for you. You still have your really powerful offense to run once you get those hits and the Oki, like you were mentioning earlier. But then you can also control the space a little bit better too with the zoning.
Yeah, and Kag does have that little annoyance to her where her kit's like primarily supposed to be mid-range as a character. Like she doesn't necessarily want to be right up in your face. She doesn't necessarily want to be zoning as her primary facets, but she needs both of those in her kit and in her game plan to really get to that next higher level and really put a lot of pressure on opponents. Was without it, it's like if like what was Pink going for with a lot of that spare body, whether behind or right in front of Barca, and Barca was able to consistently have answers to it. Whereas if there was that zoning that was also introduced where, you know, spare body doesn't come out all the time, or it was coming out as a defensive tool, either going backwards or swapping sides on the screen, effectively restarting the positions, that also can help overload what Barca is trying to look for in spare body. Maybe even some air spare bodies as well, because that's much, much harder to punish, especially for Vera. Because then she has to take that actual decision of, do I 2H on the actual startup of spare body, or do I need to delay close H so I don't just 2H the air because I get crossed up and Vera's 2H cannot hit behind her for like anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, even if by some miracle, you know, it's a full moon out or something and you do get the anti-air, it can be hard to tricky and stabilize off the reverse hit. But, and you know, the match ended up 3-2, right? It was real close regardless. It could have been two interaction differences, whether one SBA was blocked versus one hitting. Like, it could have went the other way, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually very, very true. Even despite, you know, I was talking about how Pink didn't have one extra aspect of Kag's game plan represented strongly. Pink's just that solid of a player and has great fundamental knowledge of how their Kag works. I got it up to that 3-2. With Barca, yeah, he said some of these confirms with 2H, they're super high up, which are very, very awkward confirms. Sometimes, I think a couple of those 2H counter hits were even outside of Raging Strike confirm range, which is actually the most painful thing in the world. Because generally, when you ask someone, hey, my anti-air confirms are kind of lacking, how can I make them better? 9 times out of 10, it's just use Raging Strike, right? That simplifies your combo. It brings them back down to earth in a much easier to confirm with. Like now, Scarlet Oath, you don't have to worry about that whiffing because they're too high. Or close H, like we saw, one of the final situations of a game, I think Pink ended up taking that round where Barca got 2H, got close H, but that close H was so high hitting that there was no special move. Even DP would have been risky at best in connections.
Yeah, it's definitely something to consider, you know, taking to the lab, right? The high hit ones. I know for some characters, like specifically Catalina, right? If you do really high hit 2H, you go for light DP and that stabilizes. But and it looks really cool, right? You get the DP and then you continue the combo. You're like, man, I look kind of cool. I'm Ryu from, you know, Third Strike or something. But you know, it's something to lab, something to check out. The Raging Strike, of course, stabilizes 90% of those scenarios, and you get the extra damage. But you know, it's always tricky. But looks like we do have our round 2 gamers coming up. Looks like it is going to be Shimmy 92 and Too Bad coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit in your wheelhouse with the Catalina. I know a decent amount against Zeta, just with the amount I've had to lab against her, but Cat is definitely not my strong suit as far as how good you are with her.
Look, Lightwall, it's a pretty good button, I gotta say. If I don't see round start Lightwall, I might be a little upset, but I understand, right? It's a big commitment at times.
What are you trying to teach Too Bad?
I'm trying to teach the way to play a hateful Catalina, I think. You know, right now, Shimmy's doing a good job of playing that same. Oh my goodness, the rating strike round start.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, there it is.
Yeah, didn't have the 50 meter in order to fully extend, but you know, you got the good hits there. You return back to mid screen, which is not the worst for Cat, even against Zeta, who has some more mid-range tools that can challenge Catalina's far M, her far H, and her 2M. You'd much rather be there than have to have Zeta pressuring you.
Yeah, too bad recognizing too that, you know, okay, they hopped over the light wall. I did get the absorb, so using the forward advance to try to maybe go for a cross center technique is really good. But Shimmy's really been doing a good job of maintaining this pressure.
Yeah, and especially recognizing that 2Bad's liking to stand a lot in Zeta's pressure. And Zeta's 2U is one of the much better ones in this game that has that delayed second hit, or at least it feels delayed, whether or not like you can attribute delayed to it. And it's so easily confirmable as well.
Yeah, you got the 2 hits to confirm. You can make it safe with a lot of different options. Another thing Zeta's really got going for her in this matchup, I was shilling the gospel of light wall, of course, Catalina, but Zeta's 5U really good against it. Multi-hitting moves, any sort of option available like that. The laser's also a really strong option, so Catalina just has to try to get him. Whoa, what a roll.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, 5U being able to, if 5U comes out after light wall, 5U can last longer, and that's gonna catch anything that Cat's gonna do. Rising moment. Oh no.
Yeah, anti-air raging strike. Oh, there's all the cash. We're spending it. Raging strike 2. This is a good chunk of damage just to try to tie up the life counter or take this deficit back in their favor. 1 diamond, 2 for 2Bad, so they got to worry about that raging strike.
Oh, there's that second hit of the 2U coming in. Ooh, nice U Rhapsody. Make sure that 2Bad's in a troublesome situation. Shimmy able to find the round.
Yeah, you know, just a lot of good strike throw confirms and just setting up this pressure and forcing 2Bad to guess multiple times. You know, it's in the name too, Shimmy, right? Will we see a Shimmy coming up? Will we see the TK ult skill? Who knows? Finds the counter there. And now we got this corner pressure.
Great blocks on the Pogo Oki. Or 2Bad is just keep getting caught by these either L triple attack enders or 2Us within Shimmy's pressure.
DP when life matters the most, spends the old skill. Unfortunately, Shimmy not ready to punish it. It's a little tricky at times depending on the spacing, but 2Bad still making a pretty good effort, but yeah, just gets poked out. Unfortunately, you do take damage from light wall absorbing attacks, and that was enough to take the kill.
Yeah. Light wall is armored, but it's not super armored, so she's not invincible, like you mentioned.
Yeah, if only. Maybe next patch, Side Games, help me out, man.
Absolutely not. Excuse you.
She only has 3 specials. Let her have it. But, you know, 2Bad making some good efforts here with the auto combo light wall. Recognizing, too, holding the light wall just long enough to make sure that it's safe on the forward dash follow-up.
Ooh, nice Infinite Wonder zoning. Tries to get up close, but ran a little too long. 2Bad recognized. All right, you're running at me. I'm going to DP you. You're not blocking this.
I go for some parry footsies. I like the idea, especially because Zeta, you know, you can just kind of chill and has options to go for the parry. Oh, nice crunchy counter hit though from Shimmy.
Oh, another looked like, I'm not sure exactly what was being pressed. I think that might have been the startup of Enchanted Lands.
Quite possibly, yeah. You know, unfortunately, the ult Enchanted Lands, it's not armor frame 1 either, so you gotta use it when you know going for a frame trap or something funny like that. But yeah, we find the launch and Shimmy on the board.
All right, let's see. There's more patient start for 2Bad. I think that this is where 2Bad does pretty well. Currently in these rounds is having a more neutral space set up inherently. Ooh, that cross up is devious.
Yeah, pretty good, and you know, unfortunately, falling for the frame trap there. But right now, Shimmy's doing a really good job at like kind of bullying this range Catalina wants to play at, and you know, trying to vary up the auto combo timing too. Just saying, okay, I'll do 2. Oh no, I'm gonna do 3. Oh, I'll do the overhead this time, and just really getting 2Bad to flinch at the right times.
We've got the Spear of Arvest. Tried to go for the U Enchanted Lands, got counter hit out of its startup pre-armor, and with the SBA, Shimmy gonna claim game 2.
Real strong pressure there, using the 6XL, closing space, you know. There's definitely a zone where Catalina wants to play at. Like right here, and maybe a tiny bit closer is ideal, but also Zeta's really good at playing at this range.
Meaty throw, just slightly too early throw protection, coming in clutch.
We're back at the zoning range. And Too Bad just trying to get into that range where it's ideal, but as soon as they start to approach, you see Shimmy challenge, and they're really ready for it.
I would like seeing Too Bad start using you Frozen Blade as some of these confirms when Shimmy is not in the air already. That is where Cat's main strength comes from, is the fact that just one Frozen Blade can get you all the way to the other side of the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, off of anything, too. You just let a 5L rip, and I think that's what they were probably going for before that 2U came out and Shimmy took the round, but that 5L U Frozen Blade is so critical in getting your game plan going.
Trying to get a little bit of 6-6H up in here. I know, so that makes some Cat players happy. For 6-6H, kind of scary. Not as scary as someone like Vera or Charlotta's, but it's up there.
Yeah, I mean, a safe option, right? So throw it out. It crushes a lot of things, too. We've seen Shimmy pretty active on the buttons, you know, maybe try to beat out a 6XL or something like that. And we're seeing, you know, a couple stray hits here from Too Bad, just not really cashing out anything. Oh, there's the old Enchanted Lands, though.
Went for the throw, but Shimmy was ready and said, no, there's no throwing me today.
Blocking the pogo setups. All we're good. 4 for 4 there. But yeah, and again, went for high and then immediate low. Just really good mix-up potential here from Shimmy. Trying to close this out, but not making it. Oh, there's the old skill you were talking about.
More you Frozen Blade gives you some nice chip damage, and just a run up you Rhapsody. That's unfortunate. Too bad.
Devious.
You were making the right decision there. You saw Shimmy was running up, so all right, I'm gonna stick out 2M. Really good button to do that with. Unfortunately, though, Shimmy was gonna gamble on you Rhapsody, and it's a gamble that paid off this time.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Shimmy had, you know, even if they lost a round, right? They had a round of gamble. They were up 2 games, right? They haven't done that the whole set. Save that last little trick for when it matters. It's you know, good tactical decision in terms of going for your set decisions. That's one thing players also got to really consider too. Is I use gimmicks non-derogatively, right? Like you have to have different tricks throughout your set, and you don't want to reuse them, and make sure you keep your opponent guessing. And it seems like that was kind of what they were going for, and able to secure it. Shimmy taking it 3-0.
Yeah, I mean gimmicks. Sometimes they get a bad rap, but I think in the context of Grand Blue, gimmicks have been kind of reversing the stereotype where gimmicks are a thing that characters have that oftentimes are pretty strong. Like you think of Narmaya as like the gimmick character with her side switches and flips and things like that. And Cat obviously has Light Wall, where you could attribute the gimmicks to Light Wall, but instead it's just a very strong RPS situation that we don't traditionally consider as like kind of RPS like we do with Zeta's 5U, for example. But the gimmick sounds a little bit better because there's good ways and bad ways of dealing with it, good ways and bad ways of running Light Wall call-outs. But overall, it's not getting that stereotype in your head like, oh, gimmicks are a bad thing. Gimmicks are a very good thing. Like, the reason why it has the word gimmick associated to it is because it's something we can look at as like, this character has this situation that's kind of messed up, but it's not necessarily a level of something that is going to continue to happen more than maybe once or twice a set.
Yeah, I guess the preferred term nowadays is probably like knowledge check, right?
Yeah.
And you know, certain characters are kind of defined by that, like you mentioned. Like Kag has a lot of knowledge checks with the left, right. Charlotta, especially, right? You see, they got the air tech. Oh, which side am I landing on? Do you have the knowledge check of, hey, there's a block button in this game, right? Or Nier going for 6-6M. So trying to use those knowledge checks, trying to create knowledge checks for your own character is also super critical. You would think somebody like Catalina, right? It's a Shoto. They're very straightforward. You know, they're this kind of fencing, space trap character. She has gimmicks, like you mentioned. She's got a Light Wall. She has funny cursed cross-up setups that are gimmicks that work once a set, right? she has a lot of options. But you know, both players played really well. I think is if Too Bad just starts buffering a lot of inputs, right? We saw a lot of stray hits, but no real meaningful confirms. You know, in big damage, like you mentioned, the old fireball was super critical in her game plan. We start seeing that a little bit more. Even if it's a block, you know, you're safe. Let her rip. Why not? It's only 50-meter.
Yeah, and the other thing too is while the goal is to have Ultimate Frozen Blade hit one of your opponents grounded so you get the crumple. Even if you just rock it, let it just go autopilot into it for a while. Even if you get an air hit and then you do Frozen Blade because it wall bounces instead. Just building up that muscle memory of that buffer. Hey, I can believe hits here. These commonly get me hits, like getting 6XL Far L, for example, is a huge one that Cat gets all the time that I see all over the place. Being able to just immediately send that Frozen Blade as a single hit confirm, and then you get to go into that combo from there. Once that comes up, then all of a sudden now your 2Ms start going to Frozen Blade, your Far H's start going to Frozen Blade. All your buttons start going to Frozen Blade, and you suddenly are now deleting people for daring to contest your buttons as Katalina.
Yeah, and that's kind of where she shines, definitely. And then you can start evolving that game plan more, right? You can do 2M, as a counter hit, light wall, get a confirm or type thing. But, you know, as long as you're buffering something, that's super critical, I think, in this game too, because a lot of characters have safe ways to buffer into damage or into block strings, anything. Some characters have party starters, right? It's just like, oh, I'm +2 now, deal with it. So super critical for this game.
Yeah. You know, like you said, how Kat is a Shoto, and like she's on quote unquote the simpler side of Shotos. That's often a blessing in disguise because like her 3 specials are very much defined of what their purpose are, like Enchanted Lands, DP, and Frozen Blade. But the good side of that is you can have yourself go for very defined confirms, like, all right, this set of buttons, if it hits, I'm going straight into Frozen Blade. The other set of buttons is Enchanted Lands. And then you get to focus more of developing how you want to interact with neutral, what buttons you like throwing out, how you like introducing air setups into your gameplay, your jump ins, your safe jumps, your safe jabs, like all of that. You get more time to devote to the actually hitting your opponent part rather than needing to lab a bunch of different situational confirms because certain confirms will only work at certain spacings or certain hits. Having that simplicity can help be a big boon in learning, getting up to speed to the point where then you can start introducing some of those more optimal confirms where maybe getting that hit into Frozen Blade might not be the best option. You could do something else before it.
Absolutely. I think kind of evolving your game plan from playing by feel to kind of having those canned responses, you know, oh, at this range, end in Fireball. At this range, end in Enchanted Lands. Is super critical for kind of leveling up and you know, not only do you get more games by that, you kind of vary your approach a little bit and you extend your turn. Katalina, of course, character does not have a lot of time for turns. Many things are minus, so you kind of have to make it count where you can.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing is that a lot of Cat stuff, while minus, it's safe. And sometimes you can kind of force RPS situations if you want, because Cat's buttons are on the stronger side in comparison to most of the cast. So you can end up things like Far M and then 2M afterwards can be very devastating for a lot of characters because they don't have good answers to spaced Far M, 2M, and Far H. So, you know, just being comfortable with being minus sometimes is a very awkward thing to get used to for Grand Blue. But once you get used to, hey, being minus isn't necessarily the end of my turn. I can choose for it to be the end of my turn, or I can try and force some RPS, make my opponent have to make more decisions faster. And there's a lot of players where when you force them to make faster decisions, they end up making more incorrect decisions. And that kind of overwhelming decision-making process can definitely help just compound some advantage where maybe you might have struggled a little bit earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think, yeah, making those decisions and pressing your opponent to make the decisions fast is also super critical. But yeah, looks like we got our next players coming up. Oh, a 2B. We got the guest character coming in.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
2B.
1. Fight. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2.
Let's see, we got looks like Phosphorite and Lackey coming up here.
Yeah. Oh, rare fish usage as well from a 2B player. You don't usually see this weapon.
I did not realize it was cooked on the other side either.
Yeah.
What is that animation? Oh my goodness. Is this legal?
Unfortunately, there's always talks whenever this appears at an offline major for the weapon of we should not allow this in the same ways that we don't allow Gita Pan.
True, but you know, this fish got me thinking it might be lunchtime soon, but right now, Lackey able to get this strong confirm. Has the corner pressure, but yeah, an unfortunate drop and forced to DP out. Phosphorite surviving.
Yeah, Anila is a character full of very awkward, demanding confirms where she oftentimes has to spend meter or manually choose awkward routing. Lackey though. Nice in getting that round. 2B is a character that very many people know in North America with a few very high level reps. Of course, we have Fanfear over here in the EU who's put up a lot of good results with her. But her main style is just drowning you in mids and getting these smaller hits here and there.
And I mean, overwhelming too, right? You have a lot of cancel options with the run. You have to worry about the skill level. Oh, which, cancel are they going to do? Is it going to be plus? Do I have to guess on the pod throw? But right now, we're just seeing Phosphorite just kind of escape with the DPs a couple more times. But Lackey's been doing a really good job of controlling neutral, playing this, another Shoto-esque character, right? But just Grand Blue's vanilla style of Shoto, I guess.
Yeah. Whiffing the DP just barely out of range. And that's what 2B can really do effectively for a lot of character matchups is her Farvage is further range than most DPs. So she's going to stick right outside of that and be very safe on Wake. Because if she doesn't see you press DP, she's going to send 5H. And most times out of 10, if you press something else, you're getting counter hit anyway.
Absolutely. And again, we're seeing Phosphorite use those forward advancing normals. She can with cancel, right? So even if you miss the first button, the second one generally does come out and sometimes catch. We're just going to run up throw Kai Kisuke style this time.
Yeah, and 2B has a blitzingly fast run with 5U dash. So being able to make that really effective. And then also being ready to cancel it into 5M as well to keep that momentum going, but also stick out a hitbox is very great. And here's that nice space 5H. Phosphorite just really being able to make use of it. But right now, Lackey with the SSBA gets the full animation.
Damage, taking the 2 diamonds away. Phosphorite, luckily enough, not letting the Raging Strike fully rip, but does not matter. The laser's going to be securing game 1. Lackey really strong game 1, round 1 start, but just kind of seems like Phosphorite really adapting with the bigger buttons, saying, oh, I can play this game too, and I'm pretty good at it, so.
Yeah, Lackey getting on in to the corner. There's a lot of good corner pressure that Anila does have access to. Great meeting 2B in the air. That is, for most characters, what you have to do. If you're going to be willing to challenge 2B's aerial game, you have to jump up there and contest her at that point.
But Phosphorite now just kind of maintaining his ground pressure, using the gunshot ender, right? Recognizing that Lackey not spot dodging it, so able to kind of get away with it and not spend the skill meter at all too. But there's another run, and now Phosphorite just gonna start partying in the corner.
Yeah, and I'm getting caught by what I've seen from almost everybody at some level gets hit by 2B, where she makes you want to stand. Just this weird aura that 2B has, and then you're just gonna get hit with 2L every single time. It's part and due to her air stalls into JM that she likes to do, but it's something that it takes a while to get used to, forcing yourself to be crouching a lot more than you think.
Yeah, that float is threatening. We haven't seen it yet, so maybe it's just something. Wow, what an anti-air! My goodness.
Yeah, and that kind of anti-air is the one where Anila does really struggle to confirm it.
Yeah, especially you got to cash out with meat or something. Yeah, baits the DP and ends it with the perfect too. Lackey, good awareness, and we've seen that a couple times, right? That Phosphorite just goes for the DP, and so Lackey's like, back up. It's okay. I've got the life lead. I got meter. I'll just chill for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Yushi, that's an excellent way of forcing chip out too, because if you can get it to half immediate, they can actually checkmate.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's, you know, that's another one of those gimmicks we were talking about earlier. Like, how do you deal with Sheep? Do you know how to dodge it? Do you know how to jump it? 2B, unfortunately, one of the stronger characters to deal with it, right? It has that float, so it could just escape that pressure entirely. But you do have to carry that risk of not being able to block while landing.
Yeah, and you got double jump, you got float, so those are really good ways for 2B to get around, mirrorlessly, we may add, around Yushi, which is the biggest boon. Ooh, SBA actually, and me just out of range for animation, unfortunately.
That is one of the problems with 2B, right? Not the highest damaging character too, and then, you know, forced to kind of make sure that the hit confirms do hit close, but Lackey able to again go for that air-to-air confirm. Right now,
both of them just jumped the same arc, but no one was willing to press a button.
I respect it. You know, Phospholight 2, you know, we might be seeing the rising jump heavy now, you know, recognizing that Lackey's been able to go to air pretty well, just to try to crush the attempts, but it's tricky. Yep, there it is, going for it.
Oh, another one of those little jump scare throws. Well, I think Lackey was trying to backdash, got caught, and unfortunately for Phospholight, ended up getting side switched into the corner.
Maybe using that run teleport. Yeah, that 2U getting absorbed, but big hit from Phospholight, not quite get the kill. Here comes the SSBA, finds the hit. Again, we're 2 for 2 on that this time.
And we saw last time that, yeah, deep run up was going to get reversaled, and fully takes the blocks out. And can't get the kill because there is no Raging Strike to make that useful. And unfortunately for Lackey, Phospholight's just going to find a jump and JH out of the corner.
Yeah, both these characters kind of interesting too, right? With their reversals. You know, Lackey's Anila does have EXDP, you have the medium DP, right? But they're very short. So, you know, hey, why not spend the meter, right? If I'm going to get punished, I'm going to die. Spend the meter. If I get a big hit, you know, the risk reward is kind of in my favor. Or it's about even, right? You die or they die. So recognizing that's super critical, but Phospholight now starting to avoid those anti-airs too. Double jumping, maybe see the float a little bit too, just to bait Lackey into doing something risky.
Yeah, as long as Lackey is more content to send out Sheep as a projectile while Phospholight's in the air, you're pretty safe to anything that 2B is going to do, and you can help that get you closer. Unfortunately, though, is getting caught out once again. Phospholight's pressure gets very, very scary, especially closer to the end of life when you know that one extra touch will kill.
Yeah, and having all the skill gauge available too, a lot of resources to cancel and make things safe. Or plus, even it's you got to threaten that too. So Lackey able to win these first couple interactions. Not a lot of damage available yet, but now that they've got 50 meter, cash is definitely ready to be spent.
Well, another 5U. Crossing up in the mid-screen. Phospholight was not exactly ready for it, giving Lackey another extension to their pressure. To the corner, not going to set up for the Sheep, gets the counter hit on Raging Strike.
There, but we see a Raging Strike from Phospholight of their own, forced to BC out from Lackey, down to 1 diamond now, so gotta worry about Raging Strike again. Finds the jump in on the laser though and gets the kill. Yes. Lackey was ready for it this time. Something Lackey's been kind of doing now too is we've seen the 5U ender, right? And seeing that Phospholight hasn't really been able to challenge it a whole lot lately. So now they're ending it prematurely and then going for 5L to see if maybe Phospholight's going to get caught flinching.
Yeah, so maybe getting caught flinching, Lackey being caught by that 5H counter hit. Mounting pressure, challenging on Wake Up, able to find a counter hit. Slowly getting out of the corner, another jump on these lasers. Lackey is getting very comfortable calling those out.
The anti-air, but no confirm there. But yeah, we're stuck in this blender regardless. Has the big buttons available. And Lackey's just trying to fight out. 100 meter on both sides available.
Nice jump back. I almost thought SSBA was going to come out there from Lackey.
I mean, yeah, I believed. And, you know, the first time we've seen Phospholight throw the pod too. So, you know, starting to show, okay, let me maintain my turn and maintain this pressure. And Lackey did get hit by it, so we might be seeing a little bit more of that, but the laser going to be able to secure the round.
Yeah, that laser significantly harder to react to the closer you are to 2B, especially if you're running at her. And now your options are a lot more limited since you can't dash block it. And that's
Absolutely.
purely for how fast that comes out. By the time you recognize it, you're not going to get through dash recovery.
It's tricky too, because like you think, oh, maybe I'll just roll it, right? And if they do gunshot or pod or something, you're gonna get hit by it. But speaking of getting hit, Fossilite setting up a lot of damage here.
Gets that jump in. Fossilite gonna spend a little bit of skill here. Another SBA, not getting any animations.
It's a hit on the 5UU this time. Fossilite does have SSBA available, has a lot of skill gauge too, so oh yeah, let her rip. But able to escape regardless. Yeah, unfortunately Anila not the fastest character, right? And no resources available to really punish either, so kind of tricky.
Yeah, but sometimes you just need to spend 100 meter to get out of the corner.
I mean, if it works, right? It's just a really elaborate, expensive teleport sometimes. Oh, and the laser getting challenged by the Shi. I did not know that's how that interaction went.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that sending Sheep out gives some form of info to Anila. Because I was still in the ending animation of EX Sheep.
Yeah, I mean, the laser just, it looks like it goes over the sheep, but I guess it does interact. I mean, we see that with a normal sheep, right? So I guess EX wouldn't be any different, really.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it probably is just animations just not actually hitting each other, but hitboxes dictate that they do.
Which is especially weird for Anila, right? Because there are some weird interactions like Onray Far Heavy, right? Goes over sheep and other weird stuff like that, so... But right now, Lackey's really getting this pressure going. Has a lot of resources available to spend. Oh yeah, we're cashing all of it out. Not quite enough to get the full SBA though. Speaking of which, there's the SSBA.
Oh, you fluff him and stuff and was not fast enough to get the punish. Unfortunately for Lackey, not able to fight out of this corner that's now been found as the home.
The DP rip, I like the idea. And then again, yeah, we're starting to see 2B double jump, get away from the sheep. Force respect. Finds the kill though. Fossilite on the board now.
Yeah. Unique piece of tech for 2B at those very far distance when she's using tether. You can BC the attach and then throw punish her. The frame data, depending on how close you get from you just being plus to can be minus if you do it too close. But the general rule is if you're about full screen, like 3/4 of the screen away, you can get that BC throw punish. And it's very awkward looking, but hey, sometimes those guaranteed throws are really, really good.
I mean, if it's enough to take the round, it's another one of those knowledge checks you just got to be ready for. Right now, Lackey getting this confirmed, not quite enough again. We've seen a couple times where Lackey gets these really strong corner hit confirms, but just the meter isn't really there, and just send the ult sheeps out and say, hey, you got to block this, deal with chip out.
Yeah. It's like, are you going to take the guess on whether or not SSBA hits me or Ultimate Mirage will counter hit me?
Now again, the double jumps, really good awareness. No floats yet, just to vary the timing. But, you know, it's working out for Fossilite, right? We're 2-2, you know, last game, last round. Who cares?
Nice. There's the Raging Strike. Did not even have to consider if it was going to be a counter hit. Just send it. That's amazing. That's exactly the kind of anti-air confirm you need.
There's JL. Oh, there's the SBA. Really smart awareness. You know, one of the challenging things with Anila too is using that the JL, right? You tech in the air and then it's a side switch scenario. You can guard button, or in Fossilite's case, just go for the SBA. Let it rip.
Fossilite took the Raging Strike even without 25 for Raging Chain. Sometimes you just need that extra little recovery on your opponent, and nice R confirmed there from Lackey, able to take the set 3-2.
Real clincher too. We didn't really see a lot of that 2U either. So again, just keeping those last little tricks and the last interactions where they matter, super critical. Lows not being threatened until like super late, super helpful in the matchup too.
Absolutely. I mean, really overall, both players were playing the matchup incredibly well. The interactions were going back and forth. There were a little bit of antsy defensive options on wake ups from both players. Neither of these two characters have command grabs, which is really nice because you can be a little more passive on your wake up, react to that throw. It's a hard reaction to train yourself for, since it is only a 13 frame tech window. Fuzzy Tech does help with that, even though both these characters, again, are really good at catching Fuzzy Techs. Anila has a strong close H, even if it is multi-hits. And of course, 2B has that float Oki setups where she can go into. Those being introduced could help Phosphorite really quickly overwhelm opponents on defense.
Absolutely. I think, if anything, maybe a couple things is just, learning your own character is super important and learning what they're capable of. And I think both Phosphorite and Lackey are very, very aware of like how their character operates and what ranges they want to play in. But even more importantly is how characters you don't play operate when it's your turn to press, when things are punishable. There were a couple times Lackey was getting away with like 5 UU, right? That is punishable. Or I think there was an interaction where we saw ult 214 from Lackey that went unpunished. It's tricky, of course, to be having a slower jab in the game, so you have to be really on point with it, but those are scenarios where it's just free damage for you and you have to be ready to capitalize on those sometimes.
Yeah. Taking the free damage situations is deceptively important. I know that was a comment when I was getting a couple VOD reviews of like, I was asked many times, why didn't you take Raging Strike there? Like, you got 2H or I got a far hit and I either didn't have the cooldown that normally connects into it or I missed that confirm. And the question does come up of, just take the Raging Strike. Like, sure, you're investing Brave Point, and it does get you closer to Brave Penalty, which is not something you ever want to be in necessarily. Just sometimes, though, you can just compound that easy damage, that quick combo of Raging Strike, Raging Chain, get your close H, DP Ender, whatever your L special Ender that you like to go for is. Or in the case of the characters that can't use close H, they're close Ms. And if you do that enough times, you can kill them faster than they can kill you.
And not only that, the damage, and we've kind of mentioned it before, maintaining your Oki pressure, right? Using that Raging Strike to just stabilize your combos. Again, yeah, you're getting closer to that damage penalty, but if you're maintaining your turn, you don't have to worry about damage, right? Yeah. You just maintain that pressure. You have those canned series of, okay, I know this is my pressure string. Let me go for this into this end. Or let me do this combo. And I remember when I first started playing Rising, yeah, anti-air Raging Strike, that was the bee's knees, right? Because you don't have to think too hard about it, and it helps you kind of maintain that pressure plan a little bit better. And then as you grow as a player, you can kind of rely a little bit less on the Raging Strike confirms and go to something a little bit more advanced. I know 2B has like run stop anti-air combos, right? Or Anila has hop combos, or you can do the light DP to stabilize things. So it's just something to incorporate and making sure that you're maintaining your pressure and as a player growing throughout this game.
Yeah. And speaking of characters that have very unique anti-air combos, but also very much do rely upon Raging Strike, Galleon with Swift coming up. Also another one of those characters where you can't get close H after Raging Strike, Raging Chain.
Yes, Galleon, the new character, right? Some divisive thoughts, right? Some people say bottom one.
Absolutely
the call is definitely in this game though, so I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on how you play her, right? Like they marketed her as a grappler, but I don't think that's the case, right?
Yeah, they marketed her as a set play grappler, and the set play part is the definitely more important version of Galleon. She definitely benefits from being on the slower and more methodical and relying upon different setups.
But yeah, we have Michael coming up here with the Zoe, another kind of lower represented character, a little bit trickier, the vanilla puppet character, so to speak, before we got in here. But able to play a lot of good ranges where it's on Swift to kind of approach and get this pressure going. But command grab with the rock is super critical. Look at this damage.
Yeah. Oh, got Oh wait, was Michael pressing? Oh,
Don't know.
It's a frame 1 command grab, so you are able to jump on reaction to that cutscene. It's
Yep.
the only command grab super that functions like that. You know, you think of Ladiva and Abel in particular. Like if you see the cutscene, you're already grabbed, but not with Galleon.
Galleon, you know, and that's another thing too. It's a bit more advanced, right? But even her special command grab, her EX1, it has that sound that plays before it actually comes out. So if you're an audio-based player, maybe you can react to that a little bit more. It's a slower command grab too, so just being ready for those things is a little tricky. Like you mentioned, definitely more of a set play character than a grappler, right?
Yeah. Both players switching sides. Michael trying to go with the overhead, and Swift is like, you know what? I'm gonna roll out of the corner here.
Swift taking the turn back, getting the kill. Yeah, I think just a lot of nerves, just trying to say, okay, I want to maintain this corner pressure. Who's getting the win here? And you know, looks like Swift on top for this game 1.
Oh, nice farm sticking out. Another thing, Michael can be very aggressive with 66H in this matchup, while Galleon can punish it at most ranges with her 2M. It's also, if she's pressing her normal neutral buttons, not going to be able to counter hit through that armor.
And there's another command grab, but unfortunately not able to get the full confirm there. But Swift is in a really commanding lead right now. So yeah, starting to play a little bit more defensively. The down backing super critical. Zoe does have an overhead though, so you have to respect that. Don't get a lot off of it though.
Oh, nice UDP. Checking the deep run in from Michael.
I really like that, recognizing too, you know, I've only lost like 1 combo's worth of damage. I could risk it. It's okay. We're starting to see Swift play like this patient game and just like down backing ever so slightly. You know, we see a lot of Galleon players like really abuse far heavy, right? It's her best button, obviously. It's very fast. It makes a funny noise, but Swift playing a little bit more defensively and just trying to push Michael in the corner. It's working out.
Yeah. That's exactly how Galleon is meant to be played. Michael not being able to find a lot of the times the aggressive answers to force Swift onto this more antsy defense. Great roll. That is a way. If you can get roll fast enough on recognition for command grab setups, you're golden.
Fortunately, yeah, there's another one of those wake up command grab supers. Not jump this time, but Michael not out of it yet. Forced to hold the rock. Oh, and just gets domed by it. Yeah, the Iceman special. Swift going up 2-0 in this series.
Yeah, spot dodging 5U plus rock is very useful against Galleon. You might not necessarily be plus, depending on both how fast you react and how far you are away, but it does stop that shift damage, and that's very important.
And not only that, it takes away the circle level, right? So, you know, Galleon's got to kind of build that back up, forced to use the EX or an ult skill even, you know, just to kind of build things back up. But right now, Swift doing a good job of just kind of keep this pressure. But Michael also really doing a great job of fighting this out.
Yeah, starting to see a lot more reactions to EX command grab, and even if some of them are callouts, that's exactly what you need to do. Stop this command grab from existing if you can, because Galleon becomes a much worse character when all she's doing is throwing mids and lows at your face.
Swift just blocking, you know, it's okay. I know you don't have any mix. It's fine. I'll block it out. And Michael just, it's on them to try to figure out how to open up the opponent. There's that overhead.
Got the 6XL. Almost could have gotten the kill using a Raging Strike there. And that's going to give Swift another chance, capitalizing on the 5U. Gets the hand too far away for the crumple. And you Dragon just going to pull up and be a giant thorn in Swift's side.
You know, Swift almost had the crumple, but, you know, Galleon not the fastest character, not a lot of options available. Maybe a 6XL could have changed the tide, but regardless, Michael's still staying alive here. And
nice.
we see those roll interactions.
Yeah. Both players choosing the same decision. Swift was a little faster on the decision making than Michael, which allowed for this win in neutral. And another command grab come out. Not EX this time, so gave Michael a little bit more of a jump scare.
So we've seen Swift go for that a couple times now. And I mean, that's Galleon's endgame, right? You get him in the corner, you got the rock ready, throw the command grab out. When's it going to happen? So Michael's just going to start having to, think about, okay, do I jump here? What kind of pressure do I apply? Zoe does have some, vertical options. We haven't really seen EXDP come out at all from Zoe to challenge Swift, at least. Like, that's one of your free kind of neutral skips. That's another one. Does go through the rock.
Oh, got hit by the air command grab. All you have to do to that air command grab is just crouch. Well, is this going to be projectile? Yeah, just block low. There's nothing Galleon's going to threaten you that much with that on screen. As cool as it is.
Good chip out, finding that laser. Starting to see the dragon a little bit more, but Dragon Meter almost out. It is out. Oh, and finding the 668 and Swift able to take it.
Yeah, would have liked, like you mentioned, Michael didn't use DP very often, if at all, that entire set. And that is one of Zoe's strongest tools in her kit, because it's not only difficult to anti-air, surprisingly, but I mean, it's plus frames on plus frames, and sometimes you just need to drown your opponent in plus frames all the time. And especially for Zoe, who has to be the aggressor in this matchup, since staying at that far range does incentivize Galleon to be able to set up more of those meteor levels and get them higher. 2-2-U can also be a very painful thing for Zoe sending out the dragon, because even if it trades, you're getting a knockdown with ultimate meteor, or even with regular meteor hits, you're getting much more frame advantage and a lot more damage at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, in this matchup specifically against Galleon, right? Galleon is the set play grappler character. Yeah, you kind of want to smother her. She doesn't have the best buttons in the game, right? You have your EXDP to close space and force the respect from Zoe to see, okay, can you anti-air? Can you confirm? Even if you get the anti-air, you don't get a whole lot off of it, right? You get soul throw, maybe some more advanced ult skill spending, but maintaining that pressure and just trying to get them to, get opened up by that strike throw is obviously super critical. But of course, we did see that they were playing very defensively, down backing, recognizing that Zoe does not have a lot of mix with. It's tricky, so you got to just kind of vary your approach a little bit and get them to flinch sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of, you can boil Zoe down to that make your opponent flinch game plan. With 6-6H being armored as it is, not a lot of characters or players will be throwing out their low hitting neutral buttons as often as their mid, so, since far M's and far H's usually have much more range. So that's good to help your opponent flinch and maybe try and force them to make different options appear in neutral. Galleon also has 5U, which will counter 6-6H quite nicely. So it has to be tempered in this matchup specifically, but just in general. Of course, like you said, using those dragon setups, as well as U-Dragon is pretty good in neutral. Even if it's one of the easier, quote-unquote, U skills to spot dodge, it is a big stop sign regardless. Like, you are forcing your opponent to stop what they're doing and spot dodge you. You get more dragon meter as well, which then refills your ability to use those the swing up laser, which did catch out quite often. Not even just the horizontal laser, which is usually Zoe's go-to to help keep space. The laser behind the back is really effective as well, being able to just stop opponents in their track. And once Zoe has that, you can then follow that up with a HDP, glows the entire distance between you and your opponent, and start your pressure from scratch.
Absolutely. I think once you kind of get the hang of setting the dragon out, they didn't have a lot of opportunities to set the dragon out. Of course, with Swift being able to just maintain that corner pressure really well and setting up the rocks and just really controlling space with the 5U. But getting the dragons out super critical, and then starting your pressure with that, using your specials to maintain advantage. The laser, like you mentioned, was catching the Swift jumping a lot, and converting off of that is super critical. I think it's just more exploration, right? And recognizing what your character can do in terms of just pressure and getting things going, playing a little bit more actively, right? This is Rising. It's a little bit more aggressive. It's nowhere close to like Strive, right? But 6XL is a really strong tool. Everyone's got it. Zoe's hit isn't even that bad, so use it if you got it.
Yeah, 6XL it's one of the more recognizable system mechanics. And for a good reason. It's a mid that's plus on blocks, forward advancing. It's guaranteed brave counter for the opponent, of course. And then also has some other niche interactions and nuances about it in pressure. But it is a button that can run games, and if your opponent's not representing the challenges necessary, you can really just rely upon 6XL sometimes to carry you through an entire set.
Yeah, just maintaining that that pressure, and especially when you see your opponent being a little bit more passive and willing to block, using that 6XL to get your game plan going is super critical. 6XL, do I reset into another 6XL? And then your opponent thinks now, all right, is it my turn to press? And then that's when you interrupt with a counter hit or something like that. So just introducing more aggressive game plan options can definitely win you games, and it's super critical.
Yep. And that will now start taking us to our final Swiss round. Number 5. Looking at it, looks like Saigon and Madeira coming on up to the screen in a little bit. With the current leaders being Velcion and Vampgod, who are sitting at pretty 4-0s at the moment. Having some really good days.
Absolutely, yeah. And we got Pink and Nerdell up there too, and Lackey and Valentine. Very cool. I can't believe we're already on the last Swiss one. Feels like we haven't watched enough Grand Blue.
Yeah. Where's our more Grand Blue? I mean, we got a whole top 6 coming up.
That's true.
Where's our Grand Blue?
We haven't seen any Grands. That character's free to play and pretty good right now too. A lot of damage, plus frames. You got everything you need.
Yeah, where's our Grand players?
I'll fire up the Grand. I don't think I'm any good with them, but you got.
I don't think anyone here except for me will want to play that connection though.
I've done it a couple times. Momo and I, we've played it. It's good fun. Ignore the 7-frame rollback, but
yeah, ignore the rollback that's almost exactly equivalent to 6XL.
Yes. Just teleporting 6XL, what a menace. Oh my goodness. But yeah, looks like our players are trickling in here. We got the what's it, the Wubbly Galleon or whatever with the wiggly ears.
Wubby,
yeah. Dizzy, oh no. But yeah, looks like we got players coming up here. It's been good fun. Yep.
Let me send you one of my favorite Wub stickers.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Is it just named? Yeah.
Yes.
Look at it. It's adorable.
The Wub Hug, of course. The classic. But yeah, looks like, we're going to have our DLC characters coming up. We got the Sandalphon and the Versusia. Versusia recently changed too, with the Galleon patch. Far less, what's the word I want to use? Oppressive, I guess?
Yeah.
More fair, who knows? But still very powerful, right? Having that the 5U to kind of extend combos and get things going. Recognizing some of the changes with that too, and changing your combo routing super. But still very strong character, I think.
Yeah, I mean, with Samsara more so launching more often than it used to, and Nizia got really nice changes. Nizia becoming from the orb that you don't send out all that often, since EX is just better, to that can really control neutral space quite often. Versusia also still has her 2M, which is a very, very strong button. Her close H, of course, being plus on block really does help, in the natural sort of Rekka that she has with HH that she can pull off. And then, of course, the forbidden BC that is Versusia's close H, since it has so much pushback that she can do close H spot dodge, and unless you are absolutely committing to a punish, she can just spot dodge freely.
Yep, she can spot dodge freely. She also has some other BC base, right, with the far heavy ult pillar, right? And if you space that out, you're in some trouble there. But we'll see how they implement that. Although Sandalphon, pretty strong character, and another Shoto that we're seeing. we'll see how they utilize some of the stances. Some players aren't too fond of it due to, maybe the damage increase, but it does open up a lot of new game plans for Sandalphon. Having the detonate extensions is always critical. It armor breaks, your projectile changes, maybe trying to mix up your opponent with that, but we'll see how they adapt that game plan.
Yeah, I know the biggest complaint I've seen about Sandalphon is the fact that you don't even need to ever interact with the stances. But I mean, that just means he's a very solid character as a baseline, which is better than needing to have the stances to be a character.
Absolutely. And more damage is always nice, but right now they're taking a big chunk of damage too, recognizing that, Versusia is able to just run a little bit of pressure by using the install specials.
Yeah. Got rid of the element, which is very good. It makes your plus frames happen on any approach. Ooh, gets a slice. Wasn't fully ready for a confirm there. It's a very awkward confirm with already going into a special cancel.
Just utilizing this fire stance too, just to kind of get some extensions. But right now, Saigon able to get this corner-to-corner carry. Forced to respect now, goes for the low, but not quite enough to get the kill.
Trades with the Anidia, going to wake up with Paradise Lost, and catches out Saigon, trying to continue pressure. Gotta tell your opponent, this pressure is not going to be extended for free. One more chance, though.
Getting close, but yeah, the old DP, gotta be wary of that. Versusia no reversals until they got 50 meter, and enough to lock it in.
Yeah. And between Ult Nimbus and her SBA, both are very good reaction tools in order to catch out projectiles as well as slower buttons in neutral. For a strong jump scare, stop pressing buttons, I'm going to force this damage to happen.
Yeah, and we're seeing, some of that zoning pressure now from Versusia using the orb changes like you mentioned. Although it's going to be a little tricky, right? Once Sandalphon gets into stance and can use, the Virgil pressure to bypass some of the projectiles is always a little tricky. But right now, Saigon's got the corner and the SBA.
Yeah. Going for the more stable Raging Strike non-refund routes. I mean, you don't really need to at this point for Saigon. Full health, and yeah, just sticks out the far M, able to get that to connect and take game number 1.
I like the way Saigon's really kind of playing this in and out pressure too, right? When they've got the install, it's party time. I can spend it, maintain my pressure here, and then force you to approach when I don't have it, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly where Versusia gets a ton of her scary setups is, every special now represents a little bit extra on all parts of the screen too. There are cross-up setups with Nimbus in the mid screen when she has 5U. Saigon, though, has never really had to pressure in the mid screen. It's all been in this corner, and it's been very effective.
Oh, yeah, sending out that EX pillar to close out the round, Saigon can, scenario where it's, okay, go for the safe jump. I found the hit. Had the opportunity, I think, to kill maybe with a Raging Strike stabilization to get the cooldowns back. But it's so tricky, right, in the moment. You're saying, okay, maybe not quite enough. But getting the round regardless, and now Madeira trying to close space, but in the corner again. This time the other one, though.
Saigon's going to give Madeira quite a wide breadth. And trying to be more reactive. Unfortunately, wasn't fast enough on the reaction to counter hit Madeira. And finds in the corner now. But is able to 2L straight on out. Madeira wasn't quick enough on the pressure, realizing that Saigon was blocking a little bit longer.
It's the old pillar into the confirm, but not quite enough to get that full extension. Saigon getting close. Game going up 2-0 right now.
Strong pressure, especially when she's doing 2L into 2U, because 2U is such a fast button. It really can feel like that 2L isn't actually minus.
Absolutely, and I mean, in some scenarios, right? She gets 3 2Ls into 2U, and so you think, oh, the turn's over. Oh, I got swept. They have a safe jump now, and they get the ability to do install. So being ready for it. And speaking of that install, yeah, spending it just to maintain safety on the Rekka, or the Lariat.
There's that Amanitia. Just send out a nice spot. Are you spot dodging or are you gonna roll? Rolling is the preferred answer. You know, claim some space back. You want to be pressuring Versusia if you can get the chance to do so.
Absolutely, but it can be scary. You know, we haven't really seen. We saw Old Pillar one time, right? Full screen. So we'll see if they're gonna implement it a little bit more. But Madeira trying to close his space, but the DP again. So I can just not let him breathe.
Yeah. Keep 6XL, Saiyan being nice and respectful. There's such a high life total that, you know, some of these more risky Nimbuses, just taking a little more chip in neutral than might quote unquote be necessary. Well, I'm just gonna just use Paradise Lost from full screens, have the laser, and say no projectiles here.
Like the idea, get the extra damage. Oh, and a counter hit. Oh, not quite enough. Finds the Raging Strike. Gonna BC anyways, regardless of the meter. Just doesn't want to take that pressure scenario. And Saigen able to just run up 2L, getting really close to taking the set here.
Yeah, I think Madeira was trying to be ready for a chip out special and stood up so that way there's a quicker bot dodge. Unfortunately though, Saigen read that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit you with a 2L first. And what a weird anti-air there. It's the accidental cross-ups.
Now Saigen's got this corner pressure, but we're back to mid-screen now, and Madeira's really making a good effort of trying to just reclaim space here, using lariats as the install to spend the cash, but Saigen getting a lot of mileage out of the DP follow-up.
Absolutely. Jumps over Amanitia, is able to get a punish. Unfortunately, without an air special, there's not a confirm that Sandalphon's getting on regular hit there.
Finds the SBA, good stabilization there. Cashing out early, not going to be quite enough to kill, but this is such an advantageous scenario. You have install, you have corner, you have all your skills, and yeah, just let it rip. Saigen going to be taking it 3-0 over Madeira.
That little end scenario is very advantageous, like you said, to Saigen, where you have 5U installed, you have quite a bit of distance that you're able to set up to your opponents with a huge life total backing your options, as well as you can take a little bit more risks, knowing that Madeira like to do that deep run up 6XL and then could just send Nimbus out, knowing that it won't whiff, it's very likely to actually hit, which a little bit of temperament on, you know, sometimes with that range, we have Sandalphon's stance, like you mentioned earlier, the sheathing the sword, and then you have different follow-ups depending on what you want to pick, using the slashes to enforce a little bit of plus frames, you know, keep your opponent blocking. That is very, very necessary. Introducing that special and its guessing games, especially when you're an elemental install, is a very easy way to start adding more and relying a little bit less on 6XL, so you're a little less predictable.
So, and we kind of mentioned it at the start of the match, right? Like some players feel like they don't need to use the elemental install, right? One of the challenges with it is you do take additional damage depending on which stance you're in, right? I think if Madeira didn't use the stance so much or had those canned setups where, okay, I can safely stance and then spend it immediately to get a guard break or set up some additional pressure, they would have more opportunities to just kind of go through and enforce their game plan a little bit more. Having more life is always super critical, especially if you're down on bravery points. I think Sandalphon in win stance, we didn't see, but with no BP is like the lowest health character in the game effectively. And so it's like HP is super critical, especially when, you know, in some scenarios, especially Versusia, it's a 2-touch round. So going from 2 to 3 is very critical.
Yeah, and we've had quite a quick set of stream matches. There's still some of the last round of Swiss that still have to go on, so we're gonna take a short little break here in order to let all those rest of those matches get finished out, get the top 6 ready and raring to go, and then before you know it, we'll be back with the double elimination first part of top 6. See ya then. Welcome back. Our top 6 has been decided. It's going to be Valcian and Lackey on winners, Vanguard and Nerdell in the other side, and then the 2 starting and losers will be Pink Colored Magic and Valentine. Or Valentine, actually. It's probably the correct pronunciation of the AEI.
We're Americans, so forgive us for pronouncing these things wrong. So, but yeah, we're gonna have Valcian and Lackey up first. So we're gonna see the Yule we haven't seen all day today. So that'll be some good fun versus the Anila. 2 kind of fan favorites, right? The respective audiences are pretty funny. Probably my favorite communities. You got the Yules, and then of course Greg. Can't forget about Greg.
Are you feeling Gregma about this?
I'm feeling so Gregma about it. Honestly, there are many times where I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Greg player when I mean Anila. And it's just like, but yeah, we're getting queued up into here. We got the funny characters. Yule, of course, a kind of, has her stance abilities and, trying to read out with parries, but also a very aggressive character. So it's kind of on the Anila player to see how do they keep him out? How do they maintain that kind of more Shoto mental pressure? Hop is also a very scary tool to bypass like 2U and stuff like that. So we'll see how the players adapt.
Yeah, and especially Yule has 2 reversals, which, gee, Bill, your mom lets you have 2 of them.
Must be nice. But, one of them, too, is an escape option, something a little bit more advanced. We've seen Lackey play really solid, right? You can chase down, right, the hop if you do some sort of cursed Street Fighter 4 option select, or you SBA it or something. But we'll see how Valcian does it. We see there's that first one.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Getting the 6-6M. Wanting to just get on in. Ooh, this time it goes for his stance instead of Fox Flame. Usually you see Fox Flame after Far M, but it is mashable, so that can throw up a little bit of change.
It's a counter hit on the overhead, but no confirm, but that's all right. We got the reset anyways. A lot of damage to do SBA, and this should be enough to close out the round, right? Oh no, Anila's healthy.
Yeah, it was even Link SBA too, so there's the extra 10% damage. Right now it's about.
Oh, but not let him out easy. Has 50 meter to continue, but yeah, just unfortunately gonna drop that 6-6H. Valcian just trying to find something.
Yeah, got the Far H on the Hanarashi back. A lot of characters, in terms of meaty to beat Hanarashi on Wake Up, you can do a semi OS with Far L, Far H, and Far H will usually clip Yule on the way back, or even still on the way, if she's coming back towards you, or if she's still in her backdash. That's a great OS that you can do that's fairly simple too. And, sometimes just close L into close H pressure isn't the worst.
Right now, Valcian trying to maintain this pressure in the corner. We've seen Lackey do a really good job of poke out in some of these gaps. Utilizing that Far L is super critical in this matchup too. Just try to kind of outbox UL. So finding the mix up there on the reset.
Yeah. And this is a scary part too, because UL has her stance 2M, which of course can safe jab you DPs uniquely, and then you have to mix it within the near unreactable overhead.
There's also off-screen mix a lot of the times too,
yeah.
So like Diet Grimner pressure almost. So, but we've seen a couple times now Valcian just go for an option, right? And Lackey trying to DP escape or do some sort of option to escape in any way possible. So, might be on Valcian now to just wait and see, okay, can I punch the DP and get a reset?
Yeah. Good patience there from Valcian. That kind of crossover is, you're very incentivized to try and get your anti-air. It's like, oh, my opponent is jumping at me. Surely I can anti-air it. But those oftentimes lead with your anti-air getting crossed over. And then just able to take advantage of the fact Lackey was in the corner of Lackey's own volition.
Able to find the hit and the kill. Using the old skill 2 just to kind of stabilize and make sure we got the hit. But Valcian on the board, game 1. Finding these those EX hops super critical, and using the high ender, right, to just keep the turn. We haven't really seen Lackey challenge outside of it, so might as well, it's free pressure. Force a DP or make some sort of gutsy choice. Oh, but the 6-6H, big start.
Yeah, Vanilla 606H is definitely one of the best approaches this character has for being very, very safe on block, and on counter hit can be devastating.
Yeah, and we're just gonna back to this full screen, kind of like trebuchet neutral almost, where we're just chucking stuff at each other, trying to make things happen. But right now, Velcion able to secure the hit. It's gonna get the wall bounce too.
Yeah, it's gonna opt to just take some nice staggered pressure, typically with this far M, to close that gap very, very worryingly. And patience on deck for Velcion right now, baiting out Lackey's HDP.
We've seen Lackey go for it a couple times now. I think that's probably the third time, and Velcion's starting to catch on a little bit. And, you know, had a lot of life too, so just play a little bit safer and make Lackey make some mistakes, and it's paying off for him.
Solid confirm. Went for the immediate raging strike. Lackey was ready with the spot dodge. That's beautiful answer.
Good choice too. Lackey recognizing too that it does beat out some of the stance options too. So why bother guessing on the high-low? And you know, it got rewarded for beating the raging strike too.
And Velcion's gonna be nice defensive here. Wait for the guaranteed opportunity out. Gets the Hanarashi to hit. And a full mid-screen confirm, pushing very close to the corner now that we're spending all 100 meter on it.
All of it grounded too, so able to get the full confirm in the corner. And again, a DP out to escape. Lackey's really been doing a good job at placing those and finding the throw to get the kill off the cross-up. You know, strong options from both players too, right? Velcion recognizing, okay, Anila does not have a lot of mix-up pressure I need to worry about. Lackey hasn't really been representing Hop to cross up and get anything going. Even if they do, right, you have the block button to avoid the cross up. You just have to guess high-low at that point. But right now, Velcion getting this going here.
Corner pressure, yeah. Stance pressure is very scary. You got a lot of guessing on quick options. Velcion one step ahead against Lackey with this throw on the hops. Oh, not the left right.
That was gross. I got hit.
Oh, it's that once in a set block button check. Because if it does get blocked, it's not the greatest for UL. But when it works, it usually kills just like that.
Yeah, good awareness again. You know, using those can strings and trying to set up those weird scenarios, the knowledge checks, really good option. You know, spending it a little early. I'm a fan of spending that kind of gross stuff for game 3, but maybe Velcion's got another one in the tank.
Yeah. Oh, gonna ult Hanarashi on in. Counter hits Lackey's slower attempt at pressing a button, which unfortunately for Velcion does not lead into a big amount of value. But once again, the cross up capitalized. Now Velcion on set point.
Looking really strong, just able to really win these interactions and cash out a lot of damage. There's a hop from Lackey this time around. Start trying to see, okay, can I hit the jump in? But right now, Velcion is doing really good on defense.
Great fight right out of the corner. Lackey taking a solid confirm. Gonna get DP'd, which is absolutely fine.
Finds the 2M counter hit. Oh, there's another DP. Lackey still doing really well on answering on the defensive approaches.
It's a great delay. Exactly what you need to do. If you delay that DP, you allow 2M to safe jab you. And then if it's going to be the overhead, you've got that DP already being sent.
Oh, good awareness from Velcion too, recognizing life deficit. Okay, hop back, canceled. You know, I don't want to get caught by anything. Lackey was trying to press something with the ult sheet there, but good awareness and Velcion finding the jump over.
Yeah, going to be close to killing. Combo limit's gonna say no, but gets right back in the tip range raging strike. Lackey thankfully having some break points to spare.
It's the DP. Emphasizing the win. Velcion going to be taking it 3-0 over Lackey.
Yeah.
You know, we saw that a lot from Lackey, right? Of course, Anila, you know, you've got the reversal. Spend it, right? But it seems like a lot of the times they were doing it in that corner pressure. Of course, Yule, very scary character, has the high-low mix into a lot of damage potential, so have to be ready for it. Sometimes representing nothing is also really good, right? Make them, let them make the mistake.
And there's some awkward confirms that were given to Lackey, specifically on Far Elves. Anilla's not the greatest at being able to confirm them. Those are the types of points that we've mentioned earlier where you definitely want to be ready to Raging Strike, Raging Chain confirm. That way, not only would one of those confirms have guaranteed a round and I think a game win actually, but also is just you take the confirm where otherwise your character isn't going to allow you.
Absolutely. And you know, we do see Lackey a lot using the 5U Ender, right? Which is it's safe, right? If you just let it rip and they block it, but it's also a really good source of building meters. So you can do Raging Strike, Raging Chain, or start sending out more Ult Sheep. And you know, Nill's a very meter hungry character too. So recognizing that a lot of your combo enders that you are using are building you a lot of meter and then spending it is super critical. You know, once you're at 100 meter, you can't gain anymore. So cash it out however you can.
Yeah, and meter gain is very, very quick in this game, especially if you do things like walk forward a lot. You accelerate your ability to get back, especially if you can get the 25% refund too. And with how powerful some of Anilla's use skills are, making very good use of them is a key to victory for sure.
But yeah, we got our next players up. We got Vamp God and Nerdell. I think these are the two least played characters. Is that right?
If we exclude Lunalu.
Oh, exclude Lunalu. Well, yeah. I mean, the most and least played character, I guess. But yeah, Lancelot and Henri, you don't see this very often, right? So Henri, a very strong. Both these characters very strong, of course. And a lot of these knowledge checks are going to be super critical. Like, is it my turn? Henri having that parry, being able to blow up a lot of pressure from Lancelot's going to be really critical in the matchup.
Yeah, Henri having 2 parries, in fact, 5U and obviously EX parry being the standout ones. Gets a nice SBA. And there are lots of throw baits both of these characters can do to each other, with Turbulence on Lance's side as well as JU. And then, of course, we have from J Special in Henri's case.
Finds the SBA, all but throw protection, saving Nerdell this time. Using that Raging Strike just to stabilize some of that damage and getting this pressure going again.
Not going to have 25 to connect, but full screen is exactly where Henri is comfortable. Uses that Rakshasa and able to claim that first round.
Absolutely. Right now, Vamp God trying to get this pressure going. You know, one of the challenges too for Lancelot is just, you know, Henri has a lot of tools to deal with. Has a very vertical anti-air to get through the teleport challenges. Lancelot's Fireball definitely lacking compared to something Henri can throw out of the many options, right? So yeah, it's kind of on Lancelot to kind of get in and get things going. I cannot believe that Raging Strike hit. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, very far distance. Although Vamp God able to close the distance, has SSBA here. The combo routing did not allow for the Ender. Great patience, able to get right back in. This is absolutely getting SSBA'd.
Take the diamonds away, you get one back, a lot of damage on the table, and now all of a sudden Arm's got to worry about the Raging Strike too to get opened up. Doesn't have an option to BC out. Good block button utilization.
That was actually just straight block because I saw the IB there.
Oh, that's right. You know, even better.
Yeah.
But Vamp got able to close out the round.
Yeah. Nerdell's SSBA got blocked, unfortunately, allowing for Vamp God to take it. Oh, gonna see that this dash on in is being very, very effective for Vamp God so far. And just gonna keep on abusing it until Nerdell is able to find the answer, whether it's parry or a counter hit.
There's that parry, and now Nerdell setting up the zoning opportunities. Has a lot of meter. Good air-to-air too. Nerdell just setting up all this pressure, forcing Lancelot to come in.
Absolutely. Oh, good slide with the 2U. That should be safe. Yep, Vamp God continued to block, but tried to punish early.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, some of those SBAs are a little tricky, you know, like the Henri, or even, you know, Vamp God, the DP, right? You block the first hit, sometimes get hit. There it is, and there it is. Prophetic.
You were saying?
Gotta be ready for the 2 hits sometimes. Dell finding the Beyblade to gate the first game too. Not an option a lot of Henri's use too. Like, you know, Henri has so many strong skills to use. And you know, Beyblade, really good option. It's super fast, closes a lot of space. If you use it in the air, it's crazy fast too. So, but good awareness from Nerdell.
Yeah. Honore's strength is just how versatile his options are. Few of them are standout in their class, but they all just have solid range, solid damage, great on-block frame data. Unfortunately, though, for Nerdell, getting caught out with some of these slower buttons, VampGod and Lance in particular is pretty much on the quicker side for as far as a lot of buttons go.
A lot of buttons and able to close space. Oh, there's another one of those wake up SBAs. Do we get the hit? Yeah. Actually trying to throw for the game, but, you know, finding the hit anyways.
Good patience here from VampGod, not really as scared from anything, and sees the Raging Strike, sends the U-Turbulence.
I like that opportunity too from Nerdell. After the SSBA, you know, walk up, okay, back, wait for the DP, but VampGod not biting until, okay, I can do it here in the corner now. Good
Nice
parry, too,
5U
from
parry.
Nerdell.
Yeah, ooh, didn't have Mantra Wheel to be able to throw bait with it, but that's perfectly fine. Turbulence, and it's two side hitting. Oh, didn't spot dodge twice. Unfortunate. That is one of the supers you do need to do a double spot dodge for that close.
That's all right, Nerdell seemed to be getting away with it anyways and able to get the kill here, tying up the round count. I'm really surprised they got SBA that quick with that little life loss. But again, like you mentioned, meter game is really fast. Walking forward's pretty good in this game.
Yeah, and also Onray is one of those characters that is more often incentivized to spam special moves, which does increase the rate of meter gain quite substantially.
Just like that. Again, we're at 100 meter. Nerdell has that reversal available, has SBA. Trying to use some sort of tricky setups with the dive kick, but VampGod not biting.
Oh, nice EX parry there. Gonna be switching it up. Yeah, it looks like VampGod was trying to lunge in. Unfortunately,
Believe in victory.
Rakshasa already out there. And that's gonna be game 2 going to Nerdell.
Starting off with the EX pinwheel too. Good answer. You know, you like to see Lancelot go into the air a lot of times, and you start the teleport pressure a little bit early, so it's a little tricky. But Nerdell ready for it this time, and now controlling this corner. VampGod trying to find a way out. You know, I would take that damage just to escape the pressure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, got hit by the second part of U parry. That does proc whether or not the first catch does. Honor's just full of that, where he has a lot of skills that have secondary activations in 2 parts. Just very unlike most of the cast.
Oh, there it is. Again, the SPA working out in Nerdell's favor. You know, both these characters too. Like, you know, we saw the DP from Lancelot. 2 hitting thing. You gotta just be ready for it. And I think it kind of speaks to the low play count for both these characters, right? Just not aware. I mean, this could be very much the first time VampGod has ever run into On, right? I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, 'cause you really only think of visuals when you think of Onray in Europe. I mean, he's just like you said, he's not popular in general as a character. He's one that really forces you to have to know, and a lot of times you have to lab a lot of these Rakshasa setups, making sure you have the reactions to this jump Mantra Wheel, whether or not it's TK'd. Oh, but great pressure here, able to stuff out double U skill. He's just stealing all that meter Nerdell was building up and saving.
VampGod starting this really strong Lancelot pressure, you know, using the teleports, using that 6XL. It's a really strong option from Lancelot. And now VampGod on the board. Had all the meter available to cash out and get the kill too. So we are still on game 3, round 3 though.
Was patient on the parry, tried to punish a little too early from VampGod. Nerdell's going to take little hits here and there. The good button tech with the throw gets caught by Mantra Wheel. It does vacuum in from quite far away. It's similar to Fairy's Hula Hoop.
VampGod just trying to chill, find an opportunity. The ult parry come out from Nerdell, trying to close this out, but the corner, forced to respect.
Nice Blade Impulse went same side again. I don't think Vamgod was quite ready for it to end there. But gets that U Turbulence and a nice backdash to get the hit. Baits out the SSBA once again.
The hit. Oh no, had an opportunity to kill.
Yeah.
Finds it anyways. Wait, who won? Okay.
That was Blade Impulse did win there. Don't worry.
Just like nobody has life here. Vamgod on the board though. Scary scenario, but able to clutch it out. Oh, starting off with Turbulence, I love it.
Gold tries to do a little bit of shimmy mix, but unfortunately the parry came out correctly from Nerdell. Has control over the space. Nerdell's fighting out and claiming it with more of these Rakshasas from further away. Spiral Spear gonna end a U-Blade Impulse in its tracks.
Yeah, luckily Nerdell just throwing that out a little bit earlier, so forcing Vamgod's old skill to slow down a little bit more. You know, one of these challenges Vamgod keeps getting hit by is, you know, Anre deceptively has really good frame advantage on a lot of moves too. So knowing when it's your turn, especially against an unpopular character, super hard to call out in the middle of a match. But right now, Nerdell taking with the SBA again on set point.
Yeah, and like primarily, yeah, Spiral Spear and Rakshasa typically have to be answered in different ways. You can spot dodge Rakshasa and be fine. Spiral Spear you have to roll through if you are close enough, especially the U version. That is, you have to roll. If you spot dodge U Spiral Spear, you're dying.
God, almost got the wall bounce there, but taking this corner pressure regardless, really good. Oh, good block on the parry too. Gonna reset into a big combo.
Yeah, having a fireball like Lance's that allows you to proc the parry but not get punished. Excellent. Yeah. Air blockable SBA gets the Blade Impulse, one of the powerful tools that Lance has for those far SBA blocks.
Good awareness too, recognizing, you know, I know a lot of players would probably go for a 6XL there, or run up, bar heavy or something like that. But, you know, Vamgod using all their tools available to get the punish, super critical. Especially since Nerdell's been representing SSBA a lot too, so they've had more time to kind of figure it out mid-match, right?
Absolutely. And right there, Lance's 5L being a little bit shorter than a far L's distance, really pulling in, but 5L's not really the easiest to whiff punish.
All the cash being spent right now. Vamgod trying to pressure Nerdell into flinching. Finds the throw this time, but yeah, that parry gonna be blowing up a lot of those safe jump setups.
Yeah. Vamgod has been getting really nice and starting to force Nerdell to start changing these tempos of when wake up parry exists. And that's exactly the kind of adaptations you need. And then it just becomes a conditioning and guessing game of who's going to be right more times.
Vamgod trying to set up a scenario to win here, but the Raging Strike from Nerdell forcing Vamgod to BC out. Has no diamonds left. Extra damage on the table though. Chip out is now a factor.
Oh, blocked into you, got hit by the second hit Turbulence, and Mantra Wheel going to chip out. Nerdell will be moving on to face Velcion in winner's final.
Good patience.
That was a nail biter at the end.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's so interesting to watch two really kind of unknown, well, not unknown characters, but less played characters, and seeing both the players adapt and try to figure out, all right, when is it my turn? You know, when is this thing end? We saw it a couple times with the SBA third hit coming out, or you know, Lance DP is always tricky to deal with. So, but good awareness to Nerdell, able to clutch it out.
Yeah, and I mean, there's sometimes, like you mentioned, with Anre specials, typically having a second or third hit that can catch people off guard, being ready to block those to get your guaranteed punish, or in the case of EX parry from Anre, if you block the first hit, being able to punish quick enough so you don't get caught by the second hit that goes through. You parry as well always goes into its second hit, which can be spot dodge or rolled and give you better advantage for a punish.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think for both players, just learning what each character that they were fighting does really helps, right? Knowing what their potential is. We did see Nerdell let SSBA rip a lot as a reversal option. When Parry's equally viable, has a lot of strong options too. Although maybe positioning wise, it's not that rewarding. So, and we started to see VampCod capitalize on that a little bit more. So. Maybe utilizing the install super instead to try to push that game plan advantage a little bit more. That's another tricky thing that you got to hit your opponent with, that unfamiliarity. But aside from that, both players I think played really good. VampGod maybe utilizing the ult fireball too for the slowdown, to knowledge check as well there. Super critical.
Yeah. And now we get to see Pink come back on the screen. Gonna have Kag versus Anila. See if Pink was listening to the stream, maybe in the time between Swiss and top 6, played around a little bit with the zoning nature of Cagliostro that we were talking about.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really good in this matchup too, because you're fighting against a Shoto, right? Who has a hop, so it's a little different, right? So trying to box them out is super critical, especially because Anila does have some button advantage too.
Yeah, the Sheep do travel across the ground so they can proc the traps in a more safe manner than most other characters have the privilege of being able to. Because that's all a figuring out your opponent and answering appropriately kind of knowledge.
I mean, not only the Sheep, right? But like Anila's 2U is huge.
Yeah.
So blowing up, you could probably blow up the EX traps, both of them with it.
Yeah, you only have to be cautious with counter poking on Anila's to you. While it does have a giant range, it does have an extended hurt box where its hitbox used to be once it goes into recovery.
Here's that 2U again. Blackie just trying to outbox Pink right now and just maintaining that pressure, but good teleport to escape, and now all of a sudden Blackie in the corner.
The clash.
The clash DP, yes!
Oh, stop, it's the wrong match!
Oh no, it's
Wait.
the wrong match apparently.
It's the wrong way. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's not Valentine. They don't have this in-game name. It's not Pink, because Pink is the other person from the other side.
Well,
Look at us. Nobody knew. It's fun anyways, right? Maybe might be seeing this in Losers Round 2 anyways. So this could be it's a sneak preview. Who knows? Maybe we should just have VampGod and Valentine play anyways for the fun of it, right? But
I mean, actually, might as well do FP3, I guess. Wait, how did I even score that? Wait, no, we got
we should have them stop this afterwards.
yeah. Just,
Thanks for the extra game, but
they just want to play the game, It's all right. Don't show off any of the hidden tech until grand finals. It's too risky. But I mean, I do think Pink is playing this matchup pretty well, regardless. Able to just kind of navigate the buttons from Anila pretty well, and finding the jump in over the Sheep too.
Yep. Oh god, the jump in over the Sheep, and this first one exhibition match, Pink is gonna take it. Don't you rematch?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're just playing.
no.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. They're just, they're on.
Oh wait, okay. I think they. Nope. They just believe. This is grand finals
This
to
is gonna
them.
be a bit awkward once the step finishes.
Kill the room. I mean, should I plug the room?
I mean, it works.
I mean, technically I can do that. Let me just do that real quick. Oh my god, it's so
I'm all for this. Yo, we like this game here, so we just play the video game sometimes.
Oh my fucking god. Oh yeah, but they must be so confused. Jesus.
Uh-oh.
But Pink gonna be taking that first one, so good recognition of jumping over the old Sheep too, showing off some of the awareness. I'm
My
stuck
Grand Blue
in-
really. Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay,
It
there
just
we
took
go,
a
yes.
while.
the whole EU to North America connection thing. All right. Going to
Thought
slowly
Pink was
search.
Val. Wacky.
just muted myself.
All right, we'll have the players join here. We got Val. We got now.
Yeah. Actually, we'll have actual Valentine pulling up.
True. No, I'm gonna queue up into Valentine actually. Oh, it's the Grand! I've been looking for this for so long. Thank you, Val.
This gives
Appreciate
us
it.
all of our Shotos, right? Because we've had no, we haven't had Jita.
We haven't had Vegeta. Rest in peace. But yeah, I mean, this is Gran recently buffed a couple times, right? And has the 5U improvement now explodes people. Oh, we got the the prismatic weapon or whatever? The ascension weapon, whatever it's called. I don't know. I've been playing too much Relink.
Prismatic. Oh, good JL there from Lackey. Gonna be met immediately with a EXDP from Val.
Just not wanting to block, and yeah, taking their turn back, I like that. And now their DP to spawn back. Lots of aggression in this matchup is going to be super critical.
Yeah. Both these characters are very good with spacing traps, not necessarily frame trapping. Always talked about Gran's far H spacing traps, specifically off of something like his 2M, are the prime examples of that. Whereas Anilo has like her 2U, she has her far H as well.
And Val really playing the range really well. I recognizing, utilizing the fast walk speed from Gran to blow up 2U and everything like that. Finding anti-air, but unfortunately not getting the full confirm. Any one of these hits could be death for Lackey too. Gran just doing a lot of damage, but Lackey surviving.
Oh, tried to get a brave counter, but it was a little too delayed. And yeah, ult Regenlave not gonna have enough projectile health.
Lackey surviving, that the ult rush sheep, it is punishable, but again, it's one of those things, kind of like ult boot from Gran. It's barely punishable, so you got to be real ready for it.
Got the off-screen mix with the 2L. It's a secondary punish. Lackey barely holding on to life right here.
And the old fireball, Lackey at SSBA range, but gonna use that 5U anyways.
Gets the jump in. And unfortunately for Lackey, was not able to keep that jump in momentum going. Valentine taking the round.
I've seen it a couple times from Lackey using that 5U the JU to bait a BC or something like that and get the punish appropriately, but just not able to cash out on it.
Val without any specials at the moment makes the pressure a little less scary from Gran. And blocks you Rising Sword, but not going to be able to get the punish in time. Leaving a free combo on the table, has to get some extra hits as a result.
And now Gran's got all this pressure, has the corner too, finds the wall bounce, but no full confirm. Man, yeah. It's the old fireball. Yeah, just able to box out Lackey, taking the first game.
Ultimate Regenlave on both Gran and Jita. Very fast buttons. Nicknamed the shotgun for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gran's has been upgraded to the bazooka at this point, but both yeah, really strong character options too. Very fast, good combo potential too in the corner.
Energy speed, nice and respectful of Lackey so far from Valentine. The 6-6 catching out an attempt to send EX Regenlave in neutral.
Trying to go for some off-screen mix of their own, but yeah, baiting DP and able to get the punish this time and taking the kill. Lackey learning from the mistakes of last round, saying, all right, I got it this time, never again.
Oh, good 6-6M on the attempt to pull out the sheep from the back pocket. Another DP from Lackey's finding its mark. These defensive options have been working pretty well so far.
Send the EX boot for the conversion, delaying it a little bit, but Val having complete control of this corner right now. But the DP out, just barely.
Yeah, Lackey has been so often great with DPing out of the corner. On the flip side, Val has been better at finding normals out of the corner. It's interesting to see this dynamic.
I mean, Lackey using the DP to maintain corner pressure too. Really strong. Oh, lets the SSBA rip and beats the fireball too. Unfortunately, too far away to get the full confirm.
And that 5U came out afterwards. Fortunately, Val was just far enough away that it can recognize, hey, oh, Regenlave just kills here. Let me just press that real quick.
You know, so unfortunate too for Lackey because, you know, if you don't get the full cinematic, you don't delete the diamonds, you know, you lose out on so much damage at times. But Lackey still really doing well on these air-to-air challenges.
Ooh, another MDP coming out. Lackey finding some great hits. Hack situation. Yeah, Gran has a very strong post-hack situation in the corner against so much of the cast, Nilla included. Oh, gets caught by the ultimate sheep on crouching, which allows for Lackey to get that 6-6H confirm and tie up the score.
Just barely. Have to imagine that maybe they got caught jumping in pre-jump frames or something like that, but tying it up, super critical. Val got to just play the pressure a little bit safer here now.
Yeah, that is the one caution for pre-jump frames, is if you get caught in those 4 frames, it does count you as crouching instead of being in a standing position or in the air.
Val finding these hits, these far heavies, like you were mentioning, really good spacing traps and blowing up a lot of the priority that Anila has.
Wasn't far, or it was too far away to be confident in a 2H to anti-air and kill Val there. But is very confident in this MDP to do it.
DP starting to threat the chip out. Oh yeah, just ready for the sheep this time and sends the old Regenlave to get the kill. And teabag. Oh, a little disrespect in top 6, I see.
Could have just been a little bit of a buffer situation, was wanting to go for ult boot right afterwards, which is honestly respectable. You're playing Gran, go for it.
Val able to escape, and again, Lackey's been really good on these DPs, just able to challenge a lot of these pressure scenarios Val's been going for. You know, Gran, the pressure is fairly linear, right? No high options available. Finds the hit on the old sheep and he's gonna get the kill.
Yeah, finding the U charge right on in. It's gonna take us to yet another round 3 between these two.
Does the follow-up this time, recognizing that Val's been pressing a lot too on that. So, you know, let it cash out, get the hit anyways. Definitely not a trade in favor for Lackey this time though, and right now Val gave him this confirmed big damage here.
Matt did not get the 2L meaty. The close L from Lackey going to fight out of the corner, and the 2U just enough to reach ultimate Regenlave in time.
Another DP just answering a lot of these choices. Val been going for that EX Fireball a lot too, and then press danger. So maybe Lackey catching on to that, but the ult sheep going in, but the punish regardless. Val taking the advantage, 2-1 right now.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Oh my gosh, the chase down.
Oh, the clashes. Oh, the raging strike, but the DP again. Lackey taking it over.
Yeah, neither of them wanting to go with a quick first clash into throw just yet.
It's tricky, right? You got to react to that scenario, especially, you know, since Lackey's been representing DP a lot more. Could be challenged. Could go for a spot dodge, right? You got to be ready for it sometimes. But yeah, the throw does beat strike, so very critical.
Yeah, you blocked the EXDP this time. Too far away for a close H punish to get the slowdown benefits. But taking a far H counter is absolutely worth.
A Good throw tech from Val this time. Just trying to weather the storm here of all the stuff Lackey's thrown out, but finds the air hit and Raging Strike to stabilize, and that's the round.
That was a beautiful choice to go in for a Raging Strike, Raging Chain. You know, stabilize that route like you said, get your guaranteed kill. There's a reason the Close Age Raging Strike Close Age loop is called the Season 1 combo and all reliable.
Works. I mean, you got the diamonds, you got to spend them. You don't carry them into the next round. Meter's there, go for it. Oh yeah, Val trying to believe in some heavy starter here, but gonna get punished. Lackey ready for it.
Nice blocks the JU. Lackey gonna find out with Flock to the future.
Sure here from Lackey, spending it. Not gonna get punished, but gonna be at the hit anyways. Val just trying to chase down Lackey here. Oh, but the close heavy's a good start.
Just needed the extra Raging Strike, Raging Chain to kill. Unfortunately, got into triple attack. Lackey still able to find the Close Age at a later time in order to close out that round.
It's so tricky sometimes too, right? In that scenario, you could have went right into SSBA. You had ult meter available, but you know, getting the kill regardless. Just something to look over for future matches. But right now, Lackey really setting the pace here in this round 3.
Oh my, the far L gonna be pulling in some little bits of counter hits here and there. Although you don't want to be playing a war of attrition with Grand, because this is exactly what's gonna happen. Nice SBA and put you to one touch scenario if you are Lackey.
Yeah, BC's out, not ready to punish, but trying to take the turn back. EXDP getting the hit. You should be able to get a combo off that, hitting that high too.
Yeah, it might have been a little awkward since it did have to vacuum Lackey back in. But definitely worth going for it. I mean, you have the plus frames regardless if you whiff. And then there's a classic dashing a light attack. And that will make Valentine take the set 3-1.
Awareness too, you know, a couple things just to kind of work on too is, you know, we've mentioned it before. Knowing your own character strengths is really important, but knowing the opponent's character strengths is equally important. Knowing when you can punish and get that free damage, super critical. There's a couple of the Flock to the Futures and stuff that got away kind of scot-free, but you know, all in all, I think Valentine doing really good on getting those punishes and taking the damage where they got it.
Yeah, and taking your damage, like we said, is the best thing you can do. Really being ensuring those Raging Strikes, like we saw in that second to last round, where Lackey had that triple attack, and sometimes also being able to recognize and say and adapt to, okay, I got the second hit of triple attack instead of Raging Strike, which I might have wanted. Just going to the third triple attack and then canceling off Raging Strike there, even though it reduces your combo limit quite severely, still have enough combo limit to get Raging Strike, Raging Chain into another Close H.
Absolutely, but yeah, it looks like we got our next players queuing up here. We got Vamp God and Pink up next. Again, we got the Lance this time. We'll see how, you know, one of the challenges Pink's going to have to endure too is just how fast Lancelot closes in on you, right? And how are you going to box him out? We've seen Pink go for a little bit more aggressive approach, so utilizing that grappler mentality, Cagliostro, some might call it, but we'll see how they navigate this pressure.
So also with Vanguard, while Blade Impulse can be very good at getting past traps, it does not delete them. So you have to be really sure that you're either crossing up Cagliostro or hitting her if that option is going to be taken.
Representing the teleports really early in the match too, just to say, hey, I got these two. Are you ready for them? How can you chase me down? You know, Lancelot does have some smaller buttons too, so being ready for that to lariat out or challenge with the fireball chase down, super critical. Vamcod finding the first big hit though.
Yeah, SBA cancel is very, very useful here since both players are at 1 break point, very high life totals as well. Just reduces the chance you're gonna be feeling the punishment, but SBA will just kill here instead.
Bamcod using that Raging Strike stabilization just to get the confirm and get the kill. Bamcod on the board. Yeah, BC's going out really early too. You know, those raw Raging Strikes hitting super critical. Weighing that decision whether to BC or not is sometimes an option too, depending on the character. Both these characters not too high damage, you know, mid screen, so sometimes it's almost okay to let it happen.
Exactly. Oh, nice. Gets the overhead triple attack ender. It's still your turn afterwards, even if you don't get the combo, and it's gonna make your opponent have to start guessing a little bit. Nice spare body to cross up.
You got to be ready for that block button there. I mean, both these characters, right? You got Lancelot, who's a side switch menace, and then of course you got the spare body crossing up as well, which you might even say, you know, who puts themselves in the corner? But if you get the mix up, go for it.
Yeah, because I mean, you might put yourself in the corner temporarily to get the hit later. Nice spare body at the same time. Just unfortunately, Vanguard's call out not going to get punished, but not finding a punish either.
Fortunately, not a lot of resources to spend. Could have Raging Strike to stabilize, but the SBA going to be coming out anyways, and Pink going to be tying up the round count.
That was a great answer to using Ars Magna there. Oh, nice jump in to air on the turbulence as well. Second one will find its mark though.
And we're just seeing this kind of air-to-air combat. Both characters do like playing that air game a little bit. You've got the teleport, it's an option. Of course, Lancelot has wall dive and all the other jazz, finding the hit anyways, but unfortunate drop.
Hacking. Unfortunately tried to take the turn back, but on button tech you are minus quite severely as well. SSBA coming out and finding its mark.
We've seen that a couple times now from Pink. You know, they represented it earlier in the bracket too. You know, it's a reversal option. The ult DP, not always the best option too. So it's much bigger. So if it works, go for it. Vampgod now in the corner and is going to eat this Raging Strike, but not going to be able to confirm anything off of it.
Yeah, a little too far away in order to get the punish. Blocks the SBA from Vanguard though. And with a nice BNB route, that's going to be Pink taking game number 1.
Good awareness from Pink taking the combo route, and you know, real simple auto combo EX, making sure you have enough height to get the additional extension too. Very critical, but Vampgod not out of it yet. You know, really close matches regardless so far. So we're going to be going to distance, I think.
Yeah. The JL coming in for Vampgod. Pink not able to get the 2H to come out in time. And without meter for ultimate spare body to be a reversal. It's a little rough.
There's that spare body again, but the DP chasing down this time, and Vampgod trying to take their turn back.
I like the spare body into 2U. Hasn't caught anyone else out yet. But it's just such a solid pressure string that has many opportunities for hit confirming as well as just, you know, sometimes you can end your turn when you're pressuring in the corner, and that's a-okay.
Absolutely, but Pink has no diamonds left, so any hit could be critical depending on the routing for Vampgod. Yeah, start doing this pressure there. Throws are going to be taking additional damage. One might be enough.
Oh, yeah, that SSBA absolutely gonna punish Far H around this Vampgod.
So fast, and you know, blows up a lot of buttons too. We saw how that hit like mid-screen almost because of the extended hurt box, but you know, Pink barely getting hit out by that.
Ooh. Nice. I like the 2 attacks, so triple attack 2 into throw. If you notice, your opponent is either trying to take that option, a fuzzy block of low high on the enders. Sometimes you can, you know, sneak out, just ending on 2 and going to something else, even if it is going to be a minus frame situation.
There's the SSBA or SBA let red rip, but Vampgod ready to punish and gets the kill, tying up the game count real quick.
Yeah, I like using Ars Magna there, the SBA, instead of going to SSBA, and it does punish spot dodgers. And VampGod has shown that there's a willingness to run up spot dodge.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with a character like Lancelot, right? You have the EX teleport going to the skies, and you might be able to catch the landing on that too, as opposed to SSBA, right? Once it's out, and that's the end of that. But Pink, you know, has a lot of resources available to make things happen here, and VampGod just trying to find an answer. Pink playing really good defensively.
Nice. Using the spare body, just creating some space. Fortunately, uses the EX Dragon Wheel, which is punishable on block, and VampGod was ready to take it. Oh, Ars Magna gonna actually catch VampGod advancing.
It must have been caught running or something, and yeah, like you mentioned, you can't spot dodge it, so if you're running, it's all over at that point. But VampGod finding these turbulence DPs, but Pink able to answer it out. That Thar Heavy so critical in boxing out Lancelot.
Battle 2. Engage.
Yeah. Oh. Here's that setup again that Pink was using a lot earlier today. If that set up both traps and just teleport right in front.
I like the idea, just for the, you're not expecting it. It's like, okay, now I'm worrying about the traps. Oh, they're in my face. I get hit by it anyways. But right now, VampGod doing a pretty good job of navigating this round right now. Able to land the DP2 and get their pressure going.
The ultimate turbulence has been pulling in a ton of work for VampGod. Not only hitting on the ascending half, but also has caught Pink out with its descending part as well, whether Pink was in the air or just was already in the movement. Coincidentally dodged the first hit.
It's that SSBA getting spot dodge like you mentioned, has the ult ready, but VampGod just trying to close this out. No diamonds available for Pink.
And stood up, probably trying to be ready to either throw tech or catch a turbulence. However, VampGod chose 2L in that situation.
Yeah, and they went for like a stutter approach too, right? Threw out the EX Fireball block. What are you doing? Okay, I'll delay my 2L and getting the hit and getting thrown. And now VampGod starting this pressure. But again, those BCs are just really hard to deal with sometimes, especially with Lancelot getting counter hit out of them.
Yeah. Counter hit BC, definitely a very, very strong tool. VampGod able to, work around this though. These BCs have been coming out fast and furious for Pink and has quickly led to Brave penalty. And VampGod has absolutely capitalized on winning most rounds through the use of Brave penalty enhanced combos or strings.
There's that old turbulence going for the roll. Kind of, it's a confusing situation too, because you think, oh, it's my turn. Oh, I'm gonna get thrown due to the throw priority. And again, VampGod just trying to chase down. A lot of resources available for Pink. Getting close. Goes to the turbulence again. Not dead though.
Oh, got no escaped. Pink was trying to challenge VampGod's run up. A little too late on the draw. A little faster decision making was necessary there. Although that is a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, and Pink did not have the meter to do SBA. They haven't. I don't think I've seen them DP once this whole tournament run so far. So maybe representing that could have been a potential option to blow things up. We have seen VampGod get aggressive with the throw techs and waiting for button tech. But right now Pink said, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna take this round pretty cleanly, start this pressure going. But VampGod answering back with the DP of their own.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I don't think we have seen ult spare body come out from Pink, and that is definitely a useful tool. Even though it did get nerfed to have hilarious recovery, still a U reversal, and U reversals are at worst solid.
Well, yeah, and there's that SBA and the spot dodge again, like you mentioned. And good awareness too on VampGod to just know when it's safe to spot dodge. A lot of times it's hard to tell in the moment of the cinematic which is it SBA or SSBA, because they do kind of play out similar. But that spot dodge into the punish. They do have that option to just ult DP and take the round depending on the life count too. So
Just gonna ult turbulence right out again. Pink thinking, I'm doing this trap setup so the traps are meaty, Unfortunately, U-reversals do say no to meaties.
And there's that old turbulence again, and we're gonna see, okay, we're just going for the roll back dash, try to bait something from happening. But again, like we mentioned, we haven't seen ult spare body yet, so and SBA wasn't an option, so nothing to really bait at the moment unless Pink's ready for it this time.
Yeah, VampGod absolutely going to be waiting for this SSBA once again, and that's going to be the set for VampGod.
Yep, VampGod going to be taking it 3-1, and you know, we were kind of narrowing down on it as the set was going on, but like ready for that SBA and SSBA was super critical for Vamp to secure it. And you know, mixing up your wake up options is always critical. You have different reversal options, ult spare body, you have SBA, SSBA. It's possible that maybe they're just OSing it, right? 2, 3, 6 U plus skill. OS is SBA and SSBA if you got it. So, but you know, mixing that up or just blocking sometimes super critical.
Yeah, I think that set very much was determined by the U reversals and just the reversals in general, since we saw U turbulence from VampGod work so very often, whereas for Pink, those SSBAs got very much prediction spot dodge a lot, and being able to recognize that mid-match is hard. But if you can see that your opponent has been consistently spot dodging before you wake up, they're doing it on prediction, then you can start waking up with a close H, and then all of a sudden you're gonna find yourself cleaning out rounds that your opponent basically just handed to you on a silver platter.
Yeah, and you know, especially when you're letting the SSBA rip and your opponent's got a lot of resources, maybe if they spent all the cash, like it's one thing to just let it rip and see what happens. If they block it, maybe they don't kill, but it's so tricky at times, especially in the heat of the moment. You know, and Lancelot being such a fast character too, just like, oh, I got to do something quick, otherwise this guy's gonna maul me.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
All right, Velcion, Nerdel back on the screen. This is our winners final. Both of them want to sit in that cushy grand finals position.
Oh, and again, you know, this on rate is going to be a real challenge. Both characters has a parry too. One I think is maybe slightly better than the other. But Nerdel starting off the aggression really strong with the Raging Strike.
Here comes that Rakshasa pressure once again. Have to find your correct amount of spot dodges, rolls, and jumps to dissuade far off Rakshasa pressure.
Honor's got the zoning ready, tries to throw out the staff, but Velcion ready to jump it this time.
Nice, Fox Flame unable to get the extension though, unfortunately.
Fortunately, just a missed Raging Strike and just, tried to start up the pressure thinking, okay, you know, they got knocked down, still my turn, but Nerdel able to answer with the Fireball, taking the round. And again, this game plan is really just going to be, how do you navigate the Fireball pressure? The sweep is really strong. You can't really do hop into low too often, just because of Onray's fast options. So it's very much playing neutral really well and then trying to implement your game plan.
Oh my, what a far M. I'm gonna be able to whip punish using the ult Hanarashi in order to get closer to that corner.
Nerdel just trying to escape. You know, Velcion got the first big interaction, but right now Nerdel just throwing things out, and it's, you know, it's working. Like, this is the character. If you can't get past this level 1 of zoning mix, you're in some trouble. And right now, Nerdel taking the first game.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
There's definitely an option to kind of introduce roll a little bit more, introduce spot dodge. You know, it's so tricky too, depending on whether or not Onray has a meter. So being aware of that is also very critical.
And here comes that Rakshasa pressure once again. That's been giving Velcion a lot of trouble.
It is Onray continuous pressure. You are plus there, so force respect. The hop being beat out by the top. Beyblade, let it rip.
Yeah, Montreal very good at being able to stop these low profiles from the Hanarashi follow-up. And Nerdel is just going to keep using that to get a win.
Really strong. Plenty of life to gamble too. Can start spending those counters, just blow up any sort of pressure attempts. Even once UL starts getting in and navigating this zoning, you know, you can still just get pushed out by counter. So got to be ready for it.
Oh, Velcion was trying to bait out parry, got 2L, but is able to find the punish on into you. Just as important, getting that follow up. And there should be the safe jab. Yep.
Ooh, and is ready for the third hit too. So Velcion going to be able to cash out a lot of damage. This might even be the round as long as we stabilize it here. Oh, going for the hard stuff too. I love to see it. Gets the hit, and that's going to be the kill. Good awareness too of, you know, maybe was watching some of the sets previously with Andre saying, okay, this is 3-hit SBA, got to be ready for that part. Waiting for the counter. If you're doing the EX1, the follow-up happens regardless. Super critical.
Oh, the rock shots are gonna counter hit the far M approach from Velcion. And there goes. They're changing those options using Spiral Spear, making sure that roll is not going to be an effective advancing tool.
That parry again, resetting back to neutral. This is where Nodell wants to be, trying to set up some aggression too, but we've seen Nodell do a really good job of challenging the hop into whatever forward advancing approach Velcion wants to do.
Big call out with the SSBA, and it was just close enough to allow Velcion to get the 6XL. Could not get the combo bounce that Velcion wanted, and unfortunately going to be in a world of trouble.
Diamonds available for either player. Somebody's going to explode in about 2 seconds. Who's it going to be? It's Nodell. That does not look like a chip out move, apparently, but it is. Velcion on the board.
Believe in victory.
Imagine UL chip normals. That would be a nightmare.
Please no. Don't bring OD back in any form.
She's got the hide keto in her. But right now, Velcion really able to navigate the neutral here in this game 3.
Cool. Gonna use the Raging Strike just to have a very stabilized route. Goes to the mix, but gets blocked. Nerdell really good for being able to use the block button there.
So critical, but Velcion able to press out. That far medium super good. Multi-hitting moves and just trying to blow up any sort of approach and using your hit confirm super critical. And what's the setup here? We got stance ready. Goes for the safe jab.
Oh, I saw a button press from Velcion. Oh, was able to block in time.
I don't have to get the punish, but, you know, punishes something else entirely and gets the kill.
Battle 2. Engage.
Now Velcion taking the advantage here.
Gets that counter hit on Hanarashi. Gonna hop on over. Nerdell respecting the safe jab, but it is pretty plus.
Yeah, but speaking of safe jab, gonna get blown up here anyways by that parry, so you know, maybe a little bit of unfamiliarity from Yule. Again, another less played character, right? But gotta be worried about that. This should actually be enough as long as, oh no, the combo limit, you hate to see it. Is Andre ready for it? Not quite.
Yeah. And also thankfully Velcion, that went a wrong way as well. So that SBA went from should have been a close H punish to effectively unpunishable. And Velcion not gonna let that whiff distract from the goal. Takes game 2 for the board. Now it's 2-1.
One game away from securing that final spot that they want so much, and Velcion finding the jump in really has been able to navigate the zoning neutral from neutral really well. Had a strong start, but you know, Velcion's starting to catch on a little more. And Dell's got to figure out, all right, how do I tweak the game plan more?
Oh, blocks the 2U once again. Not able to find the punish though. Tried to go for a much more valuable M starter. Oh, got caught by the 3rd hit of SBA.
Yeah, trying to use neutral jump parry, but then you all doing the spot dodge. Like, we're on level 3 right now and trying to get these hits, but the low sniping the ankles.
All right, Rakshasa pressure. It's time. Yep, just respect that you spiral spear, and off the back of Velcion now at set point. I just noticed now you put up a custom Yule image.
Yes, I saw that earlier. I'm all for it. But you know, Velcion's been really threading the needle with the stance low a lot and just kind of bypassing neutral that way and opening up Nerdell. You do block it, you do get a throw off of it, but you're just catching Nerdell doing stuff. Of course, you're at full screen, you want to do stuff, but you got to be ready for it sometimes.
Gonna go on in. Yeah, you gotta respect. You're not gonna parry on that advancing special follow-up. Definitely have to respect it afterwards. It has plus frames. Oh, but nice. Gonna launch on in.
The SBA ready for the slide this time and finds the hit. It's going to be enough to delete the diamond too. Not quite dead though, but taking additional damage. Velcion's got to find a way back in. Has slide ready.
Gets the air to air. Is being very respectful of parry. Gets the follow-up that's going to counter hit. And now you don't have to worry about parry anymore. Without parry stock and 50 meter, Henri's 5U parry is not frame 1, so you can just freely meaty him at that point. Velcion was a little too respectful and got punished for it.
Some of that character unfamiliarity again, just coming in clutch for Nerdell. It's one of the strengths of Henri, right? Like just, hey, this character's not played that much, so you got to be ready for this layer 1, layer 2 stuff, and it's working out right now. But Velcion just trying to press out, gets hit. Oh no, the counter comes out anyways. Uh-oh, and it's gonna be a dropped SBA here. Third hit is blocked, but no full counter starter.
Yeah, just happened to hit late enough to where getting that punish was gonna be very awkward, if possible at all.
Yeah, and it's tricky too for UL, right? Because, oh, and again, another block. We saw that last time too. Nerdell using that block button really well.
Gets the monster wheel down. Hanarashi going to try and follow up. Use skills. Baits out the parry. BC's back in the corner instead of taking the punish. Triggers the U parry, not punish. And there it is.
This is potentially it here. Has all the damage available, spending everything, and absolutely Velcion. Good stabilization and getting the kill. And we taking it 3-1 over Nerdell. I cannot believe that the ult parry missed.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate.
It is. And Yoriko, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Just saw Velcion move on to grand finals of EU Training Grounds number 3.
Nerdell not out of it yet. Going to be waiting in losers finals for the victor of this match, Max. We're going to be seeing Vamp God versus Valentine. The double V on VI violence even, but we'll see how this plays out here. But yeah, I mean, two characters, UL and Henri both kind of lower represented. There's some gimmick checks. We saw Slide was doing a lot of work for Velcion towards the second half of that set. And, just being aware to let your opponent take those risks and make mistakes. That Slide is punishable with the throw. So sometimes doing nothing and just blocking is super good at that range, especially because you did see that, the zoning wasn't working out. Also, like, far heavy from Henri is pretty good. I almost want to say it low crushes the slide too. It low crushes a lot of weird things. But even if you don't hit, it's safe on block, right? And you can set up some cancel pressure too. It crushes things because it's a heavy button. A lot of options available.
Yeah. I can't find anything. It looks like it might be able to. I mean, his far reach is pretty slow, so that is the one downfall of the good Henri normals. And okay,
Matera this time. I don't think we've seen a Matera at all so far, right?
no, we have not seen Matera be pulled out. Valentine gonna be trying to emulate Bonsai Dudikoff. So many Materas.
Yeah, absolutely. But Vamp God, I like Turbulence round start, recognizing that's kind of like the one blind spot Matera has. She has that 2H, but it's such a risky move to throw out at times. And now Val's just able to kind of camp this out a little bit more. Going.
Oh, nice far L. That far L is a devastating button to a lot of pressure. since it's not that slow and it's just disjointed, has a projectile aspect to it, so it's really hard to even just deal with in general.
Sweep the legs here. Vamp on the hunt, trying to get something going here, but Val has been really strong in their defense and putting their buttons where they need to. That 5L is super good at catching out approaches too.
Yeah.
Val on the board.
In terms of using and forward advancing specials such as Blade Impulse, have to be pretty close and ready for it on the butterfly set. If Notera is getting close to like halfway through butterfly set, don't even bother using your special. She will be able to get Starry Sky and proc that butterfly, and that can lead to a world of trouble like it did with the last round.
But, you know, one of the things, too, Lancelot does have in favor of this matchup is because Matera's fireballs do have the high and low tiger shot, so to speak, you have a slide available to kind of go under the high shot, which is generally the preferred option to use in zoning. So maybe catch the low, get the knockdown, and start your pressure that way, too.
Yeah. Looked like Val was going to go for a U Blade Impulse. Unfortunately, got caught out on the startup. Got the air hit, but unfortunately not able to convert it fully into a combo, and Valentine ready with the punish. Take game number 1.
Strong start to Val, really been in control, utilizing the BCs at the just kind of escape pressure and avoid any sort of scary scenarios from Lancelot. Obviously very deadly character in the corner. But has all this meter available too to cash out. The old butterflies here.
Yeah, old butterfly. Just essentially a stop sign to everything the opponent wants to be doing, because it tracks like crazy and has an even bigger hitbox.
Yeah, and I mean, it detonates, you know, whether or not you block the fireball too. So, you know, it just comes out. You just got to deal with it. There are some options available with certain characters, you know. You do have some of the EX teleport, right, to just build that space, but it's tricky at times.
You see here, yeah. Blade Impulse is not going to go underneath Starry Sky. And as a result, Valentine going to take yet another round.
Yeah, good awareness to use the hop to just kind of secure the kill there. Using the big button, wasn't too sure if they were able to get a full confirm. Oh, we're seeing hops like crazy now. A lot of movement here from Valentine, but it's working out. Finding the anti-air too. Ooh, some of the more advanced stuff come up.
Yeah, got the 2H. But Vamp God able to find a way out. Gets to see that great fall. Is like, all right, there's nothing set on the butterfly end of things. Let me just get right on it.
Finds the crumple this time. Has the corner at least. You know, ending the combo a little prematurely, trying to make things happen, but unfortunately just getting opened up. Yeah, the pressure just not coming up. But Val just trying to escape now.
Able to close the distance. That should be an easy SSBA confirm in order to gain that kill. Round on the board for Val, trying to make the Vamp, and trying to make this into a game.
I always get nervous seeing Lancelot combo in the corner. I'm like, surely the combo limit's coming at some point, but he's got like 50 hits to go. So yeah. Good awareness from Vamp there. Oh, using the slide to go under the hop, I like that. Just to, you know, change sides and again, trying to maybe sniff out a projectile there, but getting rewarded for it now. Has this corner pressure and all this damage coming up.
Oh, nice. Gonna challenge with the hop, but Vamp God ready for it first. This is gonna be pushing Val back towards the other corner. Tries the U great fall. Vamp God had the proper spacing in order to bait it out.
All these hits, yeah, does the full ender though, but finds the throw anyways to get the kill. Vamp God on the board now, tying it up.
Val gonna,
in.
yeah. Besides, you know, the Matera's been pulling out some work and believes, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to either switch after losing the first game, or you want to believe.
Absolutely. And I mean, it is first to 3 as well, so you have the additional game to play around with and think about it. You know, got the first game too, and it was a, you know, fairly close game too. So, and right now it seems to be working out still.
Nice, baits out the Brave counter. but can't get a punish. Taking away the crystal is worth in of its own, though.
Speaking of crystal, Val on 1, so additional damage is on the table. Oh yeah, finds the Raging Strike, Raging Chain. This is going to be a grip. Everything is grounded right now. Oh, but unfortunate drop. Into the reset, who cares? You get the kill anyways.
Battle 2. Engage.
Oh, tries to 1H off to the turbulence, but Vampgod was spacing it so it would be right in front instead of right above.
Just maintaining the safe pressure, but again, these hops keep getting challenged by that 6XL, you know. Lancelot's, it's one of the better ones, right? You get a lot of opportunities with it, a lot of comp extensions too, so. But gonna be cashing out into an early SBA just to take the diamond, get some damage on the board too, and just maintain this pressure.
Nice, gets the back throw. Gonna try and be shimming and gets the shimmy, but gets back thrown. Oh no, went from great to an unfortunate situation. Still plenty of life to work with though.
Yep, and 2 diamonds apiece, so has the opportunity to BC still. 50 meter on both sides too, so good punish, and yeah, gonna be able to get the crumple into confirm. Vampgod taking the advantage here, 2-1.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Ooh, nice slide. Just able to punish out Val on round start.
I like that option for round start too. You know, we saw the win under fireball. If it goes over, you know, if hop comes out, it goes under that as well. So pretty safe too. Matera not having the fastest jab, so good challenges. And there's those 6XLs. Now we're seeing some real rising.
Oh my, the blade impulse sending Val right back into the corner. Combo wasn't able to pick up the first time, but it's gonna just keep getting hits here and there. And suddenly, Vampgod on set point.
That whole like pressure setup and just maintain that corner. It's like Vamp's locked in. Vamp's ready for it. Has everything available. Val's trying to keep up here, but not making it easy for him.
Oh god, the deepest of JLs in. It does very much cause a scary situation when you just see your opponent jump in JL from across the screen.
But, you know, finds the hit, finds the SBA too. Vampgod 1 hit away from securing the set. Trying to go for some funny mix here. Val has SSBA, finds the slide though.
Yeah, doesn't have to fear ultimate turbulence for quite a little bit. This is a nice thing. You get to run your pressure only in fear of Brave counter.
Yeah, and Vampgod 2 just blocking out. It's fine. I don't need to press anything. And there's the slide, punishing the butterfly approach there. And all of a sudden, Vampgod reversing it 3-1. Gonna be taking it. Gonna be moving on to fight Nerdell.
Yeah. And it looked a little scary there for Vampgod. In game 1, it looked like Valentine's Matera just had all the answers necessary. But when Vampgod decided, you know, take it a little bit calmer, be more reactive with Blade Impulse, it started pulling out a lot more weight. And the thing that you'll see a lot of Matera is like Bonsai, Senpai Spider, Monarch, and Dudikoff. What they'll do to disincentivize this high reactive play is after they do something like EX Starry Sky, whether it's high or low, or even sometimes even just far H, they'll throw in a couple far Ls, and it looks very awkward because it's like, why would you press far L there? But that's to catch the people who are trying to tick react, see like, okay, they did Starry Sky, they spent the stock, now they're most likely going to go for Great Fall or for Butterfly. But if you do far L, it's going to be safe to any of those approaching special moves, and sometimes you can even counter hit them as they come close to you because far L is not that long of a total duration.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, they like you mentioned, they got that first game there, and they were putting up a good fight, and I think it was just kind of Vamp kind of locking in some of that pressure and recognizing some of the tendencies from Vamp from Valentine and being able to expose them. But we're gonna move it on here. This is losers finals. Nerdell versus Vampgod. Winner's gonna be moving on to fight Velcion. Is Nerdell gonna get the run back, or maybe Vampgod challenging?
Yeah. These double Jeopardy situations can be a little scary.
But Vampgod trying to get this pressure again. I think we saw these two play in Swiss, right?
We saw round 1 of top 6.
Oh, round 1 top 6. That's what it was. Yes, yes. So, you know, it did go in Nerdel's favor, 3-1. But right now, Vamp starting off strong here.
See, just the pressure is turned up to 1,000,000 right now for Vampgod. Definitely feeling some momentum being pulled on from last game. What? Nerdel, nice. Staying calm, gets the 2L. You're not dead yet, even if you have very low.
Using that escape option too, it's expensive, but you know, sometimes it gets the job done, but Vamp able to DP out and get the kill.
It really is just sometimes you need to get the heck out of dodge.
Right now, Vamp's, you know, trying to find their way in, of course, and utilizing a lot more of the system mechanics, right? 6XL, super good in this game. Uses spot dodge to go through the fireballs, also super critical, so it's kind of on Nerdel now to kind of set out more stop signs, maybe using that far H to punish any sort of roll attempts and see what happens. But right now, Vampgod going in, but gonna get punished, unfortunately. That Lariat is punishable.
The Brave counters getting traded on for each other. U-Blade Impulse gonna get Rakshasa and Nerdel on a chip out of Vampgod and just finds the hit.
I like this adjustment too from Nerdel. You know, it was sending out one type of projectile. Okay, let's see how you deal with this one too. You know, are you gonna EX teleport? What's the challenge here?
Vampgod has the pressure going. And it's gonna end with SBA gonna just take it this time, not wanting to set up for that reset.
Getting the damage super critical at times, you know, getting taking that diamond away too, and yeah, trying to bait these parries and just finds the hit and the kill. Vampgod on the board, game 1.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Oh, great prediction there from Nerdel with the Turbulence call out. Gets a nice Raging Strike bait as well. Oh my gosh, this pressure is mounting in insufferable offense.
Yeah, Vampgod trying to just build this space with the Rekkas, but right now gonna be able to punish Nerdel and start pushing things back, but the life deficit definitely not in Vampgod's favor right now.
But Turbulence get over the Rakshasa, especially useful in the corner. There's an SBA being sent, getting blocked. And that 6XL should allow, no, goes for a different combo route. Could have had the kill there. Will Nerdel make full advantage? The Uraka gonna start resetting the situation.
So unfortunate, yeah, like you mentioned, had the SSBA available, maybe Raging Strike stabilization could have changed the tide, but Nerdel, I'm sure, thankful.
All right, Vampgod got Nerdel back in the corner, off the back of that counter hit. Gonna be more thoughtful of parry, gets the throw.
Check there this time, and yeah, Nerdel saying, I've had enough, I'm gonna parry out, see what happens. But Vampgod said, no, you're back here.
Oh, is that gonna work?
Wow.
Yes.
Good correction on that.
I thought maybe Grand Blue just decided Nerdel's SBA is gonna be wrong side and suffer.
Possibly, but yeah, Vampgod good awareness, using that movement speed and just going up, run up, throw, beating out that counter. We've seen it a couple times too. Now that Vampgod's introduced 6XL a lot, so run up throw is a lot more potent. And we're seeing it again. Yeah, 6XL, run up throw. What's happening?
Got caught with a little bit of a low, ran right into the U spiral speed. That's exactly what Nerdel wants to see. Little preemptive with that Brave counter.
These just stray hits here and there. Nerdell using the JU parry to, you know, bait out Brave counter, and it's kind of working out in their favor right now, but Nerdell has that 100-meter. SBA could be an option for Wake Up. Vamp God, not a lot of resources either, so got to be ready to kill.
Nice parry. And, oh, sending out the SSBA. Getting blocked once again. 66L going to get the punish. The correct confirm to kill is coming out of Vamp God to go up 2-0 already. Looking better for Vamp God than it was in round 1 of top 6.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like we mentioned, you know, Vamp God just locked in, has been kind of reading and playing a lot of players who are using that Wake Up SBA, so kind of ready for these tendencies a little more. And, you know, we're getting into it this game 3, but with Tori, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome all 14 of you.
Yeah, we're in the losers finals. Vamp God is going to be looking like a mounting reversal of fate from winners round 1 of top 6. Looking at 2-0 in this losers final.
Again, another one of those ult turbulence blowing up the zoning approach, and good escape from Vamp God. Just trying to find a way to start their game plan, but Nerdell not making it easy. Bro able to blow up though.
Oh, Nerdell being able to catch on the end of the wall jump. Last break point will have to get invested from Vamp God here. Very low life. The Spiral Spear going to be enough.
No diamonds available too, so taking the additional damage, I think in any other scenario wouldn't have been enough, but Nerdell ready for it. On the board here in game 3.
Oh, nice. Gets the hit with that EX Mantra Wheel.
It's a throw again. Vamp God's been doing a really good job of like setting up this dash pressure, dash 6XL, dash throw, or dash 2L. And now Nerdell's got to kind of challenge it. They've started to take to the skies a little bit more and challenge with like dive kick or, you know, throwing out stuff, but it can be a challenge. Now Nerdell in the corner. Oh, baiting the parry.
Yeah. Gets the overhead. Went for the throw, was expecting the jump in to get blocked. 2+, unfortunately.
I wanted to close it out. Uh-oh, catches the backdash on the Raiding Strike, but yeah, no resources really confirm it here. Trying to punish and gets the punish with the 2L. Good awareness. Vamp God closing that space, and Vamp God 1 round away from back in the grand finals.
Nice ending at the Rekka 1, keeping things safe. There is a huge tendency in very tense situations like this where you're in losers finals, you're about to get the run back against someone who beat you earlier to, you know, try and up the tempo. And if you can stop that from happening to yourself, you can really make a lot more wins than otherwise would happen.
Nerdell saying, I'm not done yet. Getting these confirms, has SBA available. It's going to spend it. Is that too high? Oh, weak hit though. So unfortunate.
Yeah. It's the back throw. Vamp God getting, tanking the Raging Strike. It's going to Brave counter back. Locks the parry. Not going to get a punish, but not getting parried is the premier option.
He's going to find this corner swap, but yeah, unfortunately not quite enough to get the full confirm. Oh, and just gets chipped out there. Finds the hit. Nerdell on the board now. All right, Vamp God. It's super critical now for Vamp God to maintain that composure. You know, they've been doing really good in this losers run, and they've got to say, okay, what's been working? Keep doing that.
Oh my, the follow-up turbulence there actually just taking down Nerdell from the sky, looking more like an anti-air.
Absolutely, seems to be working out, but right now Nerdell maintaining this corner pressure, just trying to throw these normals out and stop Vamp God from approaching, and it's working out so far.
Oh, nice call out on the parry, gets the throw. Yeah, and it's starting Vamp God getting really in tune to the parry timings of Nerdell. This SBA does work.
You know, and you know, Nerdell's been using the EXDP a lot, finds the raw Raiding Strike. Oh, and unfortunately not quite enough to get the confirm though. Close heavy in action. Vamp God has a lot of damage here. Oh no. So close.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, you hate to see it.
Uh-oh.
The router burst. Oh, the raging
Okay.
strike too. It's okay. It's okay. Study. All right.
Sometimes it happens. You just roll with the punches.
Gotta do it. You know, that's part of the environment. You know, there's different tech for offline tournaments. There's tech for online tournaments. The Vamp God again 1 round away from taking the set here, going back into the grand finals. But Dell again just finding a lot of these answers and changing Vamp God's approach.
Ooh, nice. Taking the Rekka 3 and finds the continuation on the meaty. Gonna end with SBA here. No, gonna set up for a Rekka. That's not going to end up being plus, unfortunately.
SBA of their own and it works out. Vamp God says, hey, I've dealt with too many of these. Here's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's one back for Dell. Finds the hit.
Yeah, Vamp God got caught running up. Gets the
pressure
throw,
that-
and that'll be it. The run back has been had from Vamp God. The exact same scoreline as in round 1, just this time in reverse.
Yeah, you know, showing that study, that awareness, you know, maybe he just needed some more games to warm up and kind of understand the Honore a little bit more. Had, you know, 4 games to practice against, so. But Vamp God going to be moving on. Nerdell getting 3rd, no slouch there, you know, really strong showing, especially with a character that doesn't have a whole lot of resources, right? Just a low pick rate, so it's harder to develop some tech, but, you know, good awareness using the character's potent strengths, using parry as necessary. I think maybe if you want to continue using parry like that, do like EX parry. Oh, it's gone. Ult parry, because you know you have ult skills available all the time as long as you have.
Yeah, and until Cygames decides that maybe they don't want to be allowing EX reversals into U reversals, definitely make that a part of your defensive rotation, because a lot of people do just, they see your EX reversal get baited and they're like, okay, I'm all in now, chips are down, and then they forget about the U reversal.
Especially to, you know, we've seen a lot of the players utilizing SBA as a reversal option, a get off me scenario. If you have that ult one, spend that. It's cheaper by, you know, 50 meter. You're not in counter hate state either, so the combo potential can be limited depending on who you're fighting too. You know, that goes for everyone, not just Nerdell. But we're getting into it right now. Grand finals. Melzion versus Vamp God, another VV matchup. Both these characters kind of play in a similar space too, right? Like, you know, they're these mix-up characters, whether one's stance versus side switching. So, going to be kind of a challenge of who gets that initial hit.
Yeah, I know Naihu has absolute bias here, wants the Yule to win. But Vamp God gonna be looking to have a victory instead.
But Vamp God is going to have to reset here, so gonna have to figure out a way into this. It's going to be a long road ahead, but Vamp God's been really well, has had a heck of a run. Melzion might be a little cold.
Yeah, or Velcion might have been playing some matches in the meantime, fighting people in the community to get better, keep warm.
Right now, pretty even matchup, a lot of resources available. Vamp trying to send it here and maintain this corner pressure. Oh, an unfortunate opportunity to, you know, again, we've seen that slide a couple times go unpunished. You can throw it at certain spacing.
Oh, went for the throw from Velcion, but got baited out by Turbulence. Spot dodge not going to get punished though. Vamp God still keeping this corner pressure alive. Good challenge there. That's going to be a quick kill. Never mind.
Oh, the drop. How dare
I
you?
cursed
Again, bro just wants to play more Grand Blue, you know? Sometimes cinematic takes too long, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Ooh, nice. Getting the hit on the way down. The triple 6XL pressure. Velcion might want to be a little more liberal with the use of Brave Counter on these 6XLs.
Right now, Vamp just trying to maintain this pressure. The following up the fireball to just challenge any sort of approach, but the block DP, Velcion ready for it this time.
Got the wall bounce. Only had the far H to go. Unfortunately, couldn't get that DP ender for better advantage. Oh, not the rising moment.
It's a hit and tying up the round count.
Battle 3. Engage.
Oh, baits the throw the third time. We've seen that a couple times now from Vamp. Velcion falling for it, so. But, you know, it's a long set still, so gotta pull out all the tricks.
Good throw. On the throw, whiffing from Velcion. VampGod has just been excellent in the spacing, making every reversal option Velcion's been taking whiff.
Not quite enough to get the kill, setting up a mix, double teleport, but Velcion ready for it. But yeah, that 6XL, again, so strong. VampGod first game going to them.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Oh, one overhead. Oh, just going for the safe jab right afterwards.
VampGod setting up the fireballs, trying to set that pressure. But yeah, the high starter is plus for Velcion, so gotta respect that sometimes.
Oh, gets the back throw. Velcion had a very great start. Is continuing this on. Gets the U-Fox Flame. And Raging Strike, Raging Chain would be the ender. Beautiful routing.
Absolutely, yeah. Maintaining that grounded pressure too, just to allow for additional air hit extension, super critical, and using that Raging Strike to stabilize.
Oh, not a triple. 4? Oh,
No.
I thought we were going to go for 4.
I think the highest I've seen is 8 in a row, and I feel bad every time. The stance pressure really strong for Velcion. Vamp a little unaware what to do.
Shout out to Ho for doing it many times on Evo Japan stage.
Did Velcion find the silver bullet? Is it stance high over and over again? We did see Vamp block the low, so we might see more of that.
Oh, nice. Hanarashi stopping VampGod's throw. It's been working really well earlier in the set, but now Velcion seems to have warmed up to it.
There's that high again. There's another one. 2, 3. Hits the throw. There he goes for the low. Could have been 4. But now VampGod's got a lot of resources available. Yeah, there's that DP. Managed to avoid the Raging Strike, but didn't take the diamond either.
Ooh, gonna just wake up with a DP of Velcion's own. Going to continue pressure with that U-Fox Flame.
Again, utilizing the Hanarashi to just kind of reset that pressure and start things going. Maybe get Vamp to whiff something, but right now, resources looking good for Vamp. Has 50 meter to get things going, but Velcion got plenty of life to spare. Finds the 6XL to chase down.
Another round being taken for Velcion, looking so nice. Was able to make a lot of really high cash outs and many opportunities, as well as, you know, having really strong stance pressure in Oki.
Using the plus frames, we got this corner pressure, setting up the stance pressure. Oh, trying to bait something there, I think, but Vamp able to escape.
Follow-up of Hanarashi, not going to go underneath the fireball. And the bait coming out from VampGod. Potentially ending in SBA. Yes, here it is.
That shimmy doing lots of wonders for Vamp too. You know, it's so in favor of Lancelot, right? Having that 6XL really strong, that far heavy really good. So many party starters available, but Velcion not perturbed by it, trying to start this pressure of their own. Has 50 meter available, but the slide just able to get to the toes.
Pull the chase down. Velcion not wanting to let VampGod take space and set up for free.
That DP ending, you know, off their combo limit, able to get thrown in the corner, but it's all right. Velcion able to get this extension and start this pressure reset.
Oh, the Raging Strike gonna be baited out. No rising moment this time. VampGod gonna be able to reset into Oki of choice.
The option to SBA there, but of course, you know, meter timing kind of tricky at times. Going for the throw. Now Velcion getting dangerously close in chip out point. Gotta be worried. Oh, spot dodge.
And the SBA is gonna come out first for VampGod, and that's gonna take the game. So now it's 2-1 with VampGod leading.
Absolutely. Velcion, just got to think about it. You know, does have the set to play with, right? Obviously, you want to close it out as quick as possible, but, you know, sometimes you just got to learn against these tricky characters like Lancelot. What tricks do they have, and how do I adapt to it?
Oh, nice spot dodge. Was able to avoid the pressure from VampGod and found a way out, but unfortunately, Ult Impulse Blade getting VampGod to have pressure in this corner again.
Really good defensive choices too from Velcion. Even, you know, spot dodging that far L, recognizing too, oh, it's still not my turn because they're it's so fast. So, but right now, starting this aggression back up from Velcion, Vamp forcing the BC early.
Oh, nice Hanarashi avoiding the throw, not getting a punish. Oh, Turbulence gonna continue VampGod's dominance in this round.
VampGod just trying to find some sort of party starter here. Velcion really low on life, but has SSBA available, so any sort of hit could be lethal. I mean, we could even see Wake Up SSBA, and it would work. Oh, finds the hit. It is air hit, though.
Yeah, 2U into Ult Special. I thought we were gonna see 2U SSBA. I love the old Callisto.
The old, yeah, the old Grand Blue Callisto.
Bloxy. Oh, we're at 7 seconds. Oh, VampGod just had to hold down back to timeout.
But, you know, Velcion on that chip out, you want to do it sometimes, right? Run up, DP, run up, do something. But Velcion, good awareness to let the DP rip and get the kill. No, here we go. There's 2, 3. How many more? Do a 4th one. Oh, 5. Here comes.
Here goes.
No.
Doesn't. Oh,
No,
oh no.
not quite.
Was still able to block though. Oh,
my
getting
God.
punish and oh, we're going the distance.
I'm losing my mind over here. What an interaction. Really close, really almost like clean, perfect round there too from Velcion, but getting the game anyways, tying it up 2-2. Velcion says, hey, I don't want this thing to reset. Are you kidding me? Oh, here comes the highs again. Finds the low this time. Conditioning the VampGod. Unfortunately, you know, this is going to be a big amount of damage, and you're going to have to guess again in that same scenario.
The cross up is gonna work this time. Velcion's been going for it so many times.
Finding the hit, forcing the turbulence.
The throw. Hanarashi gonna find a punish, not gonna kill the Turbulence, stopping the Raging Strike.
Yeah, good awareness to just spend DP anyways, even if you get hit, because, you know, to say, all right, maybe your opponent's going to drop something. But, you know, Velcion on tournament point right now. 1 round away, VampGod 2 rounds away from resetting the bracket. Oh. It's the shimmy of their own this time. Velcion ready for it. And again, we're in Velcion's home in the corner. Stance pressure could be a factor here.
Oh, nice. Gets the bait on the Raging Strike. And right now, Vamp God in a great position in order to close out a round.
Taking that diamond away, additional damage coming in, but not quite enough to kill. Vamp in a lot of life, though. Tech. Uh-oh, chip out's a factor, but finding the hit. Velcion really close. I can't. This is too intense.
Final game, final round before a potential either reset or we end it off early.
Yeah, Vamp, real close. Velcion had an opportunity to Raging Strike confirm off the Hanarashi low, but, sometimes it's not meant to be. Vamp God turning up the heat and taking this corner. Velcion has a lot of resources available. Diamond spent on Vamp's side, trying to just maintain this pressure. Finds the button this time. Velcion ready for it.
Oh my god, the 2 you baited out was probably trying to be a Turbulence and gets a second hit. Velcion could have ended the whole game there. Doesn't get the Raging Strike to end it either.
Yo, chill, guys. Come on. I believe. BC's out.
DP.
Vamp trying to make something happen. Have BC available for Velcion and just going to let the DP rip.
Yep.
And Velcion's going to take it. 3-2.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Naihu feeling good. Finally gets to see a UL win on his channel.
That's not Duncan Yips, but okay.
Yeah, it's not Duncan yet, but Naihu will take it.
Ridiculous.
I
Man,
know I was
things got-
hired to do commentary here, but I was just like, I was like, oh my God, I just want to watch this. Like, so much pressure from both sides. Velcion able to secure it, but no slouch to Vamp God too. Like one heck of a losers run, and we saw like towards that losers round too, just turning on that heat versus Valentine, really starting to lock it in.
Yeah, and it really did come down, in my opinion, to just a sheer attrition match. Of course, UL is going to be a higher damage character base value than Lancelot, and it's just Velcion was able to get some better confirms more often. Even with they were both starting to use Raging Strike confirms a little bit more. We saw Velcion worried us a little bit by some of those Raging Strike confirms that could have ended rounds, did not come out. Vamp God did a lot of good Raging Strike confirms, just a tiny bit more in running that Oki, and which was working well for both players. Both players' Oki were working surprisingly well, more so than their ability to defend it. And that was just a huge key point, just getting that Oki, running it, and capitalizing on these chances.
Yeah, and I think of, like you mentioned, the attrition, but not only that, but Velcion's game plan just coming together a little bit better. Both these characters excel at high-low mixed. They can do side switch stuff that we saw, and Velcion, doing like 5-6 overheads in a row, forcing Vamp God to start thinking about the high and stop taking that chip, and then implementing the 2M to get the full conversion. Super critical. It's so hard to make that decision, especially when you don't have the DP ready. But I do think Vamp God has that potential to kind of introduce some of the more that really high level Lancelot pressure. We didn't see a lot of the side switch, wall bounce, mix, high low stuff, right? There's so much depth to that character to explore. Utilizing the ult fireball pressure to slow things down and force your opponent to tech or something like that. There's just so much to that character you can learn from still.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then unfortunately, that's going to end us off despite us wanting to have more Grand Blue. Gotta end it somewhere. Thank you to Naihu for hosting it. Thank you to everyone who played. I can be found everywhere at CoPVT. In fact, I'll be commentating another bracket.
Yo.
Chipped out for NA first to 3 the entire way as well, so y'all can enjoy that. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Dave Gaming _. Yeah, you'll find me on various net play stuff like Curry Cup, or we do Irvine locals here in Southern California, called SoCal Coliseum. We're having one this Friday, so just be on the lookout for that. And that's an offline tournament. You'll see pretty prominent players like PP Man and Iron God, and your good players playing there too. So Zane sometimes makes an appearance as well. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a fun time, Kopi, and great showing. It's really cool to see the EU scene kind of level up and get stronger as they're all playing together.